Hello Ghana, hello worldwide, and I'm with the level band. Now listen, every Tuesday and Friday, beyond the time it's going to carry bro. Our Ghana Talks Radio, 7 p.m. sharp. Now Tuesday, we're gonna talk about our culture, our history. Matuni ding setete abako sem. Now on the Friday, you bars on bars. You better rap, you better say it. No artists go join me in the studio. We're gonna discuss about music and business. Or you singer and now you rapper, you think say you get bars. You go fit spit fire now. Listen, make you join me with studios. Our Ghana Talks Radio and you say then our day. Me say download the Ghana Talks Radio app no. Our Play Store, any app store. No tune in and say this is what you see. Baba live on Facebook, Cointakra, any Ghana Talks Radio page in this now. Listen, I bet you fire. 1 year, Wading, Jajai.
What do you want for breakfast? How do you want your breakfast?
English breakfast, French fries.
Koko Nikosi, alo komi kesheto.
Wache.
Well, Gobe is the real deal.
Join us on Ghana Talks Radio. Let's serve you a buffet of breakfast.
From news headlines review, current affairs to social issues.
Entertainment, sports, and all the trending stories live on our mobile app and across all socials from Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
With me, Pakwesi Omare,
Regina Bless,
Deborah Adoso,
and I am Esinal Fiagbedu. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show, your morning companion. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show, your morning companion.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, lovely listeners of Ghana Talks Radio. It's a beautiful Tuesday morning, and you are welcome to the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show right here on Ghana Talks Radio. You are welcome to the news review. Here we bring you all the latest headlines making waves in the news, from business to politics, from sports to entertainment, and everything in between. We got you covered with the most relevant stories. As usual, I remain your host, Esinam Fiagbedu. And you know I can't do this alone. So I have here with me in the studio my knowledgeable panelists, Miss Debbie Adoso and Miss Regina Bless. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
The grace is sufficient.
Miss Regina, how are you?
I'm good.
Oh, you guys are looking very exquisite this morning. I must say I love Miss Debbie's top.
Thank you.
All right. Miss Regina, hope you slept well.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I learned I was doing so yesterday.
So not in my house.
Not in my house.
Yesterday, I saw some people posting it on their status. And
Are you sure it's not propaganda?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I just hope it's genuine. I think it's genuine.
Yes.
Exactly.
Pay the
The
deal.
ones you
Yeah.
Pay
Very
If
necessary.
you don't want to pay, you continue to sleep in doom so.
Yeah, so in a way,
Get
you're
ready.
advocating that
You have to pay.
we have to pay for the D levy. Yeah, so pay the D levy if you don't want to be in doom. So that's not coming from you. I'm just a mediator.
A spokesperson.
Good. All right, so let's dive straight into our major news stories for this morning. We are open to talks, not renegotiation. The Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association to Health Minister. The Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association has expressed its willingness to engage with the Ministry of Health, but insists that it will not return to the negotiation table over matters already agreed upon. This follows a nationwide strike by nurses and midwives that began on June 4, 2025, over the government's failure to implement the provisions of their 2024 collective agreement, which includes allowances, incentives, and improved working conditions. Responding to the strike, Health Minister Kwabena Minta Akando emphasized the need for dialogue and urged all parties to come together to find a resolution. However, in an interview, the Greater Accra Regional Chairman, Jefferson Asare, made it clear that while the association is open to discussions, it will not accept any attempt to reopen negotiations on matters already finalized. Mr. Asare stated, "We are ready to meet. If you receive a letter now, we will move anywhere they want us to go, but for renegotiation, we are not ready." He further stressed that among the various groups in the health sector, it is only nurses and midwives whose agreed upon conditions of service remain unfulfilled. He also added, in a health ecosystem, it is not only nurses who have problems with the conditions of services, but we are the only group whose conditions of services have not been implemented. The ongoing strike has disrupted healthcare services across the country, prompting calls for stakeholders and the public for a swift resolution. Yeah, so that is coming from the Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association. So they started a strike this early June, that was on 4th June, and now on yesterday, when you go to hospitals, especially the OPDs, they are not in service simply because the nurses are on strike. And you know, the doctors have also come out to complain that we can't do the job without the nurses. So indirectly, the hospitals are not operating as well. Their doctors are there, but it's a collective body and they can't do the work all alone. So this is it. Before we move into the story, I want to ask your opinion. What do you make of the whole saga of the Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association with a strike with the ministry? What do you make of it, Miss Debbie?
It's very sad. Very, very sad. I mean, if it is other professions, I wouldn't say that other professions are not that important. But then looking at the health sector, it looks like they are our breath. Like, it's like the health sector is our oxygen. The oxygen we take in, I mean, every second. Because you have people going into the hospital for treatment, I mean, each and every second, just for treatment. And then the nurses going on strike, it's very, very bad. So I feel like me not buttressing this issue with politics, you know, I'll plead with the government to, I mean, address their concern, because I know that this issue does not just start with this current government. It started with the previous administration. They started the demonstration during the previous administration, but it wasn't that tense like with this current administration. And you know, as a government, when you're coming in power, you have your plans already. You've planned what you want to execute. And so coming into power, and then you are faced with challenges that are not budgeted for. It becomes a whole lot. And then I believe the government is going to address their concern, but it's going to take some time. It will definitely take time. I'm not sure. I know they are going to pour out their grievances, which they've started.
Yeah.
But the government cannot just stand up today and say that, oh, I'm giving you the money. Because there are a whole lot. With the energy sector, we are owing. With other sectors, we are owing. The previous government started something, they didn't continue, and a whole lot of debt. And then this administration, as they've come on board, like, I haven't seen them bringing out any projects of their own yet, or initiated a program like for themselves that is coming from this current administration. They are, for now, with this year, I'm sure with this year, they are fixing what was not what the previous government did not complete or were not able to complete. So I feel like the nurses, they should take their time. I understand. I know that passion will not bring food to your table, because as a nurse, it's because you have passion for the work. And then you having passion for the work, it's not going to feed you, it's not going to pay your transport, because you pay transport when going to work. Imagine you are a wife, you're a husband, you have kids, you pay their school fees, the feeding, you are supposed to ensure that, like, there is groceries in the house, and then you are not being paid. Do you know how stressful it is? And then with the nurses, you have to be mentally sane so that you can treat people. And imagine you have financially unstable, and then you are treating a patient. Oh, you end up, I mean, hurting this patient the more, because patients like I said, and then some patients are very troublesome. So just imagine you being financially unstable, and then you treating a patient that is very troublesome. You will end up hurting the person. So I feel like the government should hit to their cause. It's going to be difficult, and I've heard the health minister also coming out to say that they should negotiate. But almost more can say negotiation because they've negotiated, so they feel like there is no benefit in it. But it's very sad. So we are just pleading with the government that it should hit to their cause.
It should hit to their cause. Miss Regina, what do you make of the whole saga?
So the little I can say in regards to this issue is, when it comes to our working sectors, not to undermine other working sectors, but I would say the health sector is one of the crucial sectors that is very key or very important to our daily lives or to our day-to-day living, because without nurses or without midwives, pregnant women can't go into labor without coming out, should I say, not facing any contradictions or not facing any issues. And also with the nurses, they see to it that we are healthy. They see to it that we are being given the right medication and the right dose. With that being said, this is not a political issue. As they said, 2024 collective agreement since 2024.
Yeah.
According to them, the past administration was in power. Now this administration, someone would be like, why didn't you start
advocating for this
since it was being brought? But as I said earlier, this shouldn't be a political issue. This should be an issue that should be solved immediately. Let me put it that way. It should be solved with immediate effect, because just imagine now, hospitals are being disrupted because nurses and midwives are saying they will not go to work. Just imagine if someone comes in with an emergency, who will be there to attend to these people? The doctors can't do it alone, and you can, according to them, in the health sector, it's only nurses and midwives who are not being, should I say, appreciated, because it looks like, excuse me to say, they are not really all that important according to what they are trying to say. Because in the health sector, they are the only ones whose working conditions are not being improved, their allowances are not being met, and all that. So as I said, the health sector is one of the crucial, or is one of the key things in our economy or in our country, and without them, we can't do without them. So the government, in as much as they are facing the government is facing other financial issue, economic issue, developmental issues and all that, they should make sure that the nurses and midwives are their topmost priority. They need to make sure that these people's working conditions are being improved. As I said, this is not to undermine any other working sector in Ghana here, but both of us would agree that without health, our country is not a country. When this rising issue came, Ebola, our health sectors were the one on the front line.
Yeah.
Now, monkeypox, they are the same people on the front line, which they are exposed to danger. They are even exposed to death, because the virus or the pandemic can get you at any time, and you can also die at any time. So their working conditions should be improved.
They are actually not fighting for salary.
Their allowances
And other privileges, such as from what I saw on the media, they said when the nurses go to the hospital, they're actually required to pay, and then after they pay, in a few months' time, before the government refunds the money back to them. And sometimes it doesn't even come at all. According to some videos I also saw. Let's take a Chief Justice, for example. In as much as Chief Justice is contributing immensely to the growth of the economy, we shouldn't also sit here and pretend as if health workers are also not contributing
should I say, massively to the economy. Chief Justice, they make sure that everything this Chief Justice needs is being met. Or Yaria, they take her to the hospital.
This is GhanaTalks
They
Breakfast Show,
even
your
go as
morning
far as giving
companion.
the full allowances, vouchers, and all that. So what is stopping them from doing the same to nurses? And this is not the first time, neither is it the second time or the third time we are hearing this. Even with student nurses, they also do complain of the same. Yet why should we ourselves come out to still complain about what you have said you give to us? Excuse me to say, it doesn't make sense. So if other sectors are being pampered, are enjoying all these privileges, how much more someone who is on the front line? Say Ebola basisi or COVID-19 comes and they told you, Islam, go be on the front line. Would you go? You no go. You are not even equipped. You don't even have that balls to do it.
We get it, but you see, these people are actually saving lives. I feel like there's a better way to do this.
How?
Rather than going on. So what if the government also comes and decides to fire all of them, all those that are on strike?
Then they should fire them.
Fire them and then
And
employ
Because I'm
people
a
that have been in the
yeah.
house for 3 to 5
yes,
years.
and employ all those people. Since
So-
because you said so right now fired, you go and sit in the house. Because
we understand.
we understand
the
them,
pains
but
they are going
here
through,
lies
but
the
at
case.
least-
You are saving lives. So why
for-
don't you
for
be?
how many years?
So why don't you be?
So
They
because they are saving lives, their needs shouldn't be met.
no, it's not like their needs shouldn't be met. Just as they say, what's the name again? Negotiation. They are going on
They
negotiation.
said they are not ready
So
for
what if right now
negotiations.
they are in their house? They are in the house. They don't have it. They are not at work. They are just there. And how do I even put it? They are in the house and then they are just there. They are not because sometimes when you go to the hospital and you take care of a patient, the tip they even give you a loan pool is more than that. I feel like why don't they still work and still go to and allow their leaders to go through the renegotiation thing that they are doing, rather than them being in the house. And they say, oh, if you know anything. So what if they are in the house and then the renegotiation thing they are seeking for, it never comes?
I feel like sometimes too we should understand them. Imagine you don't have
No,
transport.
I get it.
You don't have transport to go to work.
They are not fighting for their salary.
Yes, I know.
That's not their salary
I know
they are
they are not
fighting
fighting for their salary, but at least working in an environment that is not so conducive for you, how will you feel?
They are not fighting for
They are
salary.
not fighting for their salary, but it's all counts.
I don't know if you
Have
get
you
me.
seen people fighting for quality working conditions? That is what these people are doing, and we need to understand them. If you are trying to say that they should understand the government by going to work, the government should also understand them by making sure that working conditions are being met.
But
So at the expense of
this is
some,
a 50-50 thing.
So at
Their
the
salaries are
at
part.
the expense of their own working
Their salaries
condition.
are part, because I saw a video where a nurse working at oh my goodness, I've forgotten the name. This popular hospital at Kumasi, Confanoche Teaching Hospital. She said they are not being paid, so it's also it's all part. It's not only about the allowances or whatever you're talking about. Some of them are not being paid.
So what happens to the pregnant women? They should die.
They are not being paid. I know, like they are not supposed to die, but you too. How can you go to work? You've
See,
not
we
eaten a
shouldn't-
day.
we
Can you
shouldn't be
treat a
I don't want
patient?
to use the word selfish, but it looks like because they are nurses, they should endure whatever
The
is being
pain.
thrown at
No,
them.
it's not like they are enduring. You
What
can
happens
still
to the
work,
nurses?
but
They should go to their private hospitals.
The day
how
the
many
day you
people
don't
can
feel
afford
well, the day
private
you don't feel well, you come to work, right? You work, but how do you feel? You put in your best, but how do you feel? You feel like today, even though I've tried my best, but it looks like this sickness is not really allowing me. And the day you are okay, just compare the two, and then see how it feels. So we should, in a way, understand these nurses. And I would say this is the main reason why most of them, when they get opportunity to travel outside the country, they go. Because in other countries, it's very easy. I mean, the working conditions is very good. Your salary is very good. Everything is on board. They even have new equipment. I mean, to improve on what you are learning. Here lies the case. Even our health sectors are not well equipped. And so these nurses are really trying their possible best.
So what would you tell the government to do?
It should hit to their core.
Simple.
So just, because maybe I agree there. If you want to, relax a bit, we'll end up losing a lot of lives. And it has, I wouldn't say it has started, but it's about to start.
All right. So that's it. Moving on to our next story. Ghana faces EU ban on fish importation if space not sanitized. Ghana risks a European Union ban on fish importation if the country does not take the necessary steps to sanitize its fishing space. Already, the country has received 2 yellow cards from the EU, one in 2013 and another in 2021. And should the problem persist by 2026, the country will receive a red card. This was made known by the chairman of the Parliamentary Select Committee on Food, Aquaculture and Cocoa Affairs, Dr. Godfred Jasor, at a stakeholders meeting in Accra on Friday. The meeting was to finalize a draft fishery bill that will help bring sanity to the country's fishing space. He said on both occasions the country was singled out for yellow card warning for illegal, unreported and unregulated fishing. To this end, he said the draft bill, which was now with the Committee of Parliament, has made satisfactory impact but still needed stakeholders in the industry to help finalize it so that Ghana can pass the EU specification and not receive a red card in 2026. So this is it. This is coming from the Ministry of Food, Aquaculture and Cocoa Affairs. It's actually a committee in Parliament. And they are saying that Ghana has already received 2 yellow cards, one in 2013 and one in 2021. If care is not taken, if our fishing spaces are not sanitized, we're going to receive a red card. And that is not a good call. Miss Regina, what do you make of it?
Okay. I think that is a very good thing. And I can't remember, was it within last week, there was a day where we were celebrating fishing, especially in regards to the illegal, unreported and unregulated fishing. And when we talk about illegal fishing, it is done without proper authorization or in violation of local and national laws. Example, fishing in protected areas or using banned gear. And also unreported fishing, when fishing activities are not declared or are misreported to the relevant authorities. And unregulated fishing, when fishing occurs in areas with no conservation or management rules or by vessels flying the flag of countries that aren't part of international agreements. So with all these, that is the IUU, illegal, unreported and unregulated. First of all, the impact it would have. It has environmental harm. Vessels often use destructive methods that damage marine habitats. Most of the times, these fishermen use certain dangerous chemicals just because they need to get fishes. Just because I need the money on the table. Just because I need to take care of the family. But they are not putting the marine habitat into consideration. During the Environment Day, our President Mahama was specific about our marine habitat, especially even in regards to plastic waste. The harm it is causing down there. Some people even just go there and just, excuse me to say, release waste into these water bodies, which is very bad. So, I wouldn't be surprised. It said 2026. I wouldn't be surprised if by 2026, no fisherman is being allowed to fish in the seas.
And then they can't export them to Yeah, and that would be a very great loss for the
Because
country.
I'll say fish is something we can't do without in Ghana. In as much as it's our daily, it's our livelihood. It shouldn't be a yardstick for us to destroy our water bodies. I can remember way back in SHS social media, they taught us how to go about things you are not supposed to do to our water bodies, all in the name of fishing. Some people even go as far as putting DDT because the fishes will die and it will
come up.
And they'll be the same people to come to us and sell these fishes to us. In a way, it's even also harming us.
Yeah, it's harming us as a country.
And I believe that I don't know much about fishing, but I believe that there's a board governing or seeing to the day-to-day activities of these fishermen. And I believe that there are regulations these fishermen need to adhere to. They should accept the fact that any debiana you go to sea or you get fish. And I know that sometimes they cast the nest. Is it maybe they cast it 1 week, 2 days, then later they go to check if the nest has is it nets?
Yeah,
yes,
nets.
the net has catched something.
Yeah.
So
So that's it. So European Union may ban imports of fish from Ghana if the country doesn't clean up its fishing practices. Just as you mentioned that some fishermen use some harmful substances just to harvest the fish, which is very bad. And even when you go to our beaches, the environment is that bad.
very bad.
It looks like that is their dumping spots, and people go to do all sorts of things. So European Union have actually seen that, and they are saying that they may ban imports of fish from Ghana if the country doesn't clean up its fishing practices. And Ghana has already received 2 yellow cards from EU. That is, first they received a yellow card in 2013 and they received another one in 2021. That should be a wake-up call for us as a country as a whole. And I don't know what the fishery ministry is actually doing about it. So they're saying that if nothing changes, Ghana could get a red card by 2026. If it's 2026, we're in 20. Wow.
And
that's just a few months away.
Someone will be like, me I made my country. Me I made my natural water body. But you should know that in this world, in as much as we came to meet this world for free, there are things we need to adhere to. European Union, I believe that these people have signed an agreement with them. That is why they have the upper hand to even issue a yellow card, red card to us. So the fishing sector should make sure that fishermen, especially those people living then they enter, they're going to fish.
Yeah. So how will I say?
These people can need. It should be like driver's license. Without a driver's license, you can't drive.
You can't drive.
Yes. So they should just give them a license. As a fisherman, you need to have a license. Without your license, you can't go and fish.
So that means that if nothing changes by 2026, not even 2026, within this year, if nothing changes, we are going to get a red card, which means a total ban on fish exports to the European countries, and which is very bad.
Yeah.
That is going to be a bad reputation for the country, and that is going to be us losing revenue right there.
Exactly.
Someone will ask what's the yellow card and then the red card means. So the yellow card means fix your fishing problems. Fix your fishing problem. And the red card is a sanction. You are banned from exporting fish to European Union. So the one is about illegal, unreported, and unregulated fishing. Illegal, just as you mentioned. If you don't have license, you should be like you owning a car. If you don't have a license, you don't have to drive. So the warning is about illegal, unreported, and unregulated fishing. As you mentioned, those that are living by the seashore. immediately they just feel like, oh, I feel like fishing. Then you just enter the sea. Then you start fishing. So people are fishing illegally. Catch data is not reported properly. There's poor regulation and enforcement. So now, what is Ghana doing about it? What are we doing about it as Ghanaians? So a new fishery bill is being prepared by Parliament to help sanitize or organize and regulate the fishing sector. So I think this was actually a gap. We're not having anything of that sort, like a fishery bill to regulate or organize the fishermen or any fishing activity in Ghana here. So the bill is meant to end illegal fishing practices, improve tracking and reporting, and meet European Union standards. So stakeholders like the fishermen, companies, regulators are being involved to make sure the law is effective and fair. So that is it. Ghana's fishing industry is under international pressure. Yes. So if the EU bans happen, what does it mean? It's going to harm the economy. Ghana will lose export income, affected thousands of jobs. People are going to lose their job as well. You get it? Yeah. Seafood processing, the companies that process the food and the fish and then send it to other countries, like the tinapa, the mackerel, and all of that. They are going to lose their job, and that is you losing income. Messy. So in a nutshell, Ghana must pass and enforce strong fishing laws to avoid the ban and keep the industry alive and sustainable. I think that's a good call if the bill is being passed, so we don't receive a red flag from European Union. So that is it on the second story. So moving on to our third story. Teachers threaten strike over delayed book and research allowance. 3 teacher unions have threatened to go on a strike over a delayed payment of book and research allowance. According to the University Teachers Association of Ghana, the Technical University Teachers Association of Ghana, and the College of Education Teachers Association of Ghana, the government has failed to release the foreign exchange rate based on which the book and research allowances are to base on and paid. In a joint press statement dated Monday, June 9th, the unions expressed frustration over what they describe as an undue delay, undermining their academic work, and said they will declare a strike if the government fails to release the exchange rate and pay the allowances. They argued that the lack of clarity around the exchange rate for this year's allowance, which supports lecturers' research and professional development, had caused significant uncertainty and hardship for their members. According to them, following a joint meeting on June 8th, the unions resolved that the government must urgently release the exchange rate and commence payments. They further warned that they would not accept any extension of payment beyond September 2025. The union said, "We stress that this allowance is a statutory entitlement under conditions of service, an essential resource for advancing research, teaching, and knowledge sharing," the union said. So the statement added, "We hereby notify all stakeholders that if the government fails to commence the payment process by 13th June 2025, which is this Friday, I guess, this will be considered a strike notice by UTAG, TUTAG, and SETAG across all campuses." Yeah, so that is it. You know why I'm laughing? If they go on strike, I guess it's sleep. But the semester is going to delay, so please, I don't want them to go on strike. So please, governments, come and pay their allowances. I'm in a hurry to graduate.
You see your life. That one, they should hurry up.
No.
And pay.
They should hurry up and give them their allowances.
I'm not listening to
because I'm in a hurry to graduate. You get
this one there, they should hurry up and come and pay.
I'm in a hurry to graduate. Please. I don't want my graduating shift. So please, I'm begging you, governments, come and pay. I don't want them to go on. You know it happened. So it actually happened. This has actually happened before with regards to the Galamsey issue. UTAC also went on strike, and then we had to resume school. I think last year or something. Oh my God, it was very stressful. So please, we don't want that again. We are begging you. Me, I want to graduate this year now. So government, please come and pay the allowances. Yeah. So that was just by the way. What do you make of the whole Buhara? Teachers are also threatening to go on strike. Hey, and I say, whoa, Ghana for sorry. Ghana for na. Ghana for sorry. Yeah, Miss Debbie.
I think where this case is heading to, the government has a lot to do.
Yeah, a lot.
The government has a lot. Imagine bankers also coming out to say that. Hey, but I've never seen bankers going on strike.
They can't go on strike. You go on strike and see your money will also go away.
Imagine all this government.
Will not go away because they are being paid.
Yes.
Because they are dealing with money. These people are really being pampered.
Sure.
That is what the government
it's
needs.
sure,
So
just working in the banking sector.
You know the allowances they take.
Close allowance in account. Yes. I have a colleague who is working in sister. Cha. They're enjoying.
Then let's move to the banking sector.
Because I want to go and do accounting. I want to go and do accounting. So back to what we were saying.
Yeah.
No, the government has a lot of work to do.
Right.
Because on my left hand, the nurses are on strike. On my right hand, the teachers are also, saying they want to go on strike. And you see, this teachers saga started way back last year. And last year it was so tensed. I can't remember, it was so tense that university students, you come to school. And then the only thing you are being told is that we are on strike. You are supposed to go home. And then we have people coming all the way from Volta region, Northern region. And you still have to go back because teaching is not going on. And all these institutions, I would say they are key institutions in the country. The health sector and then the teachers as well. I wouldn't say that they are more valuable than other sectors, but then I would say they are key because as anya nurses for better teachers for, anya teachers are better nurses for. So I feel like the best thing the government is to do is they should sit with his people.
Mm-hmm.
They should talk things out. How are we going to solve this problem? What measures are we going to put in place so that we make them feel comfortable? Even if we are not going to pay them all the money we owe them, at least 50% or maybe 60%. And then as time goes on, we pay the remaining 40% to them. Because if not that, then where are we heading to?
You get it.
This country will be in a mess if all the institutions are to say that they are going on strike. And you see, if teachers go on strike, as you said, it hurts students. You know, the lazy ones will say that it's an opportunity for them, right?
Yeah.
But then it's not an opportunity. Sometimes when they go on strike like 3 months, or more bastard, they are coming to pressure you, and then you are supposed to learn. You get it? So I feel like I see a way. Obi a committed crime, and we know who has committed this crime, and then you're supposed to bear or carry the cross. There is no way you can say you are not going to hit to their cause because you also said that, you are going to tackle all these issues. And so they were also waiting. Who knows? Maybe they felt so disappointed in the previous government. And some way demonstration they do maybe and I would say that it also contributes to this current government winning the election because they voted for him because of all these issues. So as I said, the best thing is sit down with your people. How are we going to solve this issue? What measures are we going to put in place? Should we pay them all the money? No. Maybe if you pay all the money, it's going to affect us back. Maybe we should pay them half or we should pay them quarter. Then at the end of the day, we'll see. They will know the next step to take. But if not that, and then they're gonna bear their pan. So the government should just address their concerns.
Right. Miss Regina?
Yeah, she has said it so. The government needs to address their concerns. Don't look at me.
She has said what's all.
Oh, you two don't like that.
But she's the one that's been doing that.
Okay, so tell me.
So she has said it so, as I was saying, it is legally part of academic staff's condition of service.
Yeah, I like
vital for funding textbooks, journals, and research activities. That is the same way the nurses. It is also legal for them, so that condition of work would flow. You go to the hospital, you don't have any problem. So if they pay the nurses, then they should focus on these teachers also, because as she said, these two people, you can't do away with these two people, especially the nurses and the teachers. As you are saying, you don't want your graduation to shift. Just imagine that you just go to campus on Saturday and they'll be like, oh, please, Friday is the deadline. So if the government doesn't do something quick, or doesn't say any tangible thing to them quick, Saturday you know go to school. You go, then it's closed.
Ghana former sorry. We beg. Like, it was stressful when this will go on strike. We are begging, please, Ghana hormone, sorry.
Sorry. Is GhanaTalks
Please pay the allowance. We beg. Because I've already started sewing my dress. So.
Hey.
Yes. So we beg, pay the allowance. We don't want them to go on strike.
I've seen that this allowance issue has been a multiple problem, because it happens every day, like all the time. Someone has to go on strike because of allowance. Oh,
and I feel like the way they are paying them thoughts, no munja is when this government and the government comes into power, they pay quota, and then no margin kind of the next government, and then before the next government comes, it piles up. So why not you just clear the debt?
Yeah. So allegedly. They've let me not politicize it, but please, the government should do everything in their power and make sure that this whole strike, the nurses strike, teachers strike, but we are waiting for the next strike, but we are begging you, whatever you have to do in your power, please do it and settle this issue, because it's going to affect a lot of people, especially with the nurses. People are going to lose their lives. So government, Monsorio, we beg you. All right. Thank you so much for joining us on the news headline review. This is where we draw the curtains. Up next, we have Debbie's Girl.
This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show, your morning companion. This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show, your morning companion.
Good morning once again, and welcome to Debbie's Grow, where we talk about matters that concern the state, void of politics, fear, or favor. Now, I come across something that is very sensitive, and it has become so rampant among the youth of today. Now, Miss Francisca Muzu, a youth advocate with a vision for accelerated sustainable development, has called on the government and other stakeholders to step up actions to protect the youth from tobacco industry manipulative tactics. She said, "Tobacco industry, we are just potential customers, lured into a circle of addiction with products that steal our glow. We therefore call on the government, the Ministry of Health, the Food and Drugs Authority, the Ghana Health Service, Ghana Education Service, civil society organizations, parents, guidance, traditional leaders, and everyone to save their children and future leaders from these manipulative tactics." So as I said earlier on, drug abuse drug abuse have become so common among youth of today. And sometimes I wonder how it started and how far the youth has become of late with drugs. And I think sometimes we end up arresting the wrong people, and then we leave the right people walking about freely. Now, I wouldn't say that this youth has the money to import some of these drugs into the country. This cigarette, this alcoholic drinks, and a whole lot of drugs. With the current one of late, red. And this has become so common. And immediately this youth take in these drugs, they become insane. They don't think rightly any longer. They think as if someone who is lost in their thought, in their spirit, and in their physical being. And then you see a youth who is supposed to be in class studying, someone who will become a future leader tomorrow. Who knows, maybe he might become a president. He or she might become a minister one day. And then they are destroying their lives with drugs. Some time ago, a vehicle, they caught a vehicle transporting drugs that has to do with narcotics, tobacco, and a whole lot. And up till now, we don't know who is responsible for that. I was told the driver was arrested. You might arrest the driver. Maybe he is just doing his work. But the person behind it, the person importing those drugs, is the person a ghost? Or the person is a normal human being as I am? Because all the times we keep talking about drugs, its negative impact, and ways to stop this sort of importing drugs illegally into the country. But to no avail, we still see those drugs in the country, and the youth are messing their life up with these drugs. And sometimes we smuggle this, narcotics drugs into the country through our borders. And our borders, we have migration personnel, we have security that guards the borders. So are they trying to say that they don't see when this products are being smuggled into the country? Or I should side with the layman and say that they take in something so that they can smuggle the drugs in the country. We can do our best to educate the youth. We can do our best to educate them on the effects of drug abuse. But that wouldn't even, prevent them from taking it. It wouldn't prevent them from smoking. If the main people behind it are not being arrested. And you will see a vibrant youth taking in red, and he or she has become a statue, standing at a particular joint. Looking at the facial expression, you could see that this person is messed up, and it looks as if we don't care. But a time will come, these old people we have, they'll fade out, and it is the youth that will take over. So are we saying that we are training drug addicts to become, future leaders for this country tomorrow? Is that what we are trying to say? Some top official can sit in their office and say that it doesn't concern me because the person taking in the drug is not my family member. But trust me, he or she is not your family member. But when he rise, it will definitely affect you. Because most of these drug addicts do not engage in meaningful activities, either in robbery or other, social vices, other activities that are unlawful. Imagine a drug addict being an armed robber, knowing fully well that his life is messed up. And then he knows that the government has a role to play, and they are not playing or they are not doing their work as they are supposed to do. When he goes out with his gun, he's coming to your house first. And then you tell me whether you have a role to play or you do not have a role to play. I know when it comes to drug abuse, everyone has a role to play. The society has a role to play. Parents has a role to play. And the government as well has a role to play. You can't say that because you are a parent or a guardian, you are going to leave the child, and this is the role of the government. You as a parent, you have a role to play. Because most of these youth, they get to school and then they associate with friends that are drug addicts, and at the end of the day, they find themselves doing that. So as a parent, what are you supposed to do? You advise your child on the kind of friends you should associate yourself with. The teachers also has a role to play to educate them. I can remember those times in social studies and even in science. We learn about drugs, the effect of drug abuse. We even learn about its causes. And the government also has a role to play. And the government's role is to ensure that the people behind, importing these drugs into the country are being arrested. And also to ensure that our borders, there is a strict supervision. We don't allow people smuggle things into the country just like that. And that is why we end up even arresting people and then we see them with AK-47 and a whole lot. How do they get that into the country? Now then the question comes in. Don't we have security at our borders? And the question is, yes, we do have. So are we saying that they are not doing their work properly? Or they should improve on it? Because it's getting out of hand. It's getting out of hand. The rate at which, use of this abuse drugs is unimaginable. How will you feel if you see your sister, your brother, or your cousin as a drug addict? The same way you feel. That is the same thing you are
This is
supposed to
Ghana
feel
Talks
as
Breakfast
a
Show,
public
your morning
official
companion.
or as a government. Because if you don't take action now, and then it gets out of hand, they will come back to haunt you. Because trust me, when his life becomes miserable and the only thing he will do is to rob, he will not go into the poor man's house to rob him or her. He's going directly into your house because he knows that you have in possession money. And so where he will get something to feed himself is where he will go. It's better we take action now. Or we sleep and then we forget about it and then it comes back to haunt us. Thank you for making time with me on Debbie's Girl.
Thank you so much, Miss Debbie, for that girl. Winning red. Winning red. Miss Eugenia. Yeah. Winning red.
Of course, I know red.
You know red.
Yeah.
All right. Give it to me.
All right. So I'm bringing you today in history, and did you know? So on this day, Ghana's President Kwame Nkrumah was re-elected unopposed. President Kwame Nkrumah was re-elected unopposed by the National Assembly. This was more of a procedural formality, reaffirming his presidency under the one-party state system, where his convention People's Party was the only legal party. In the lead-up to this event, Nkrumah had already consolidated his power, banning opposition parties and declaring Ghana a one-party state in 1964. 1980, the African National Congress publicly released Nelson Mandela's first major political statement from prison, smuggled out of Robben Island in response to the 1976 Soweto uprising, ending with a powerful call to unite. Italy joins WWII in North Africa. Fascist Italy officially declared war on Britain and France, marking the start of the North African campaign. This significant movement brought the entire region into World War II, setting the stage for major battles in Libya, Egypt, and Tunisia. Kenya police helicopter crashed in the Kibiku area of Ngong Forest, resulting in the death of 6 people, including 2 prominent politicians. George Setue, the Interior Security Minister, and his Assistant Minister Joshua Ojodi. This event was a significant national tragedy in Kenya's recent history. Looking at some educative did you know that the richest person in recorded history was African? Mansa Musa, the 14th century emperor of Mali, was the richest person in recorded history. His wealth was so vast that his pilgrimage to Mecca in 1324 caused inflation in Egypt. Did you also know that the Akan people of Ghana were among the first to utilize gold dust as a currency, particularly during the late 14th century and beyond? The development of a system of weight for measuring gold dust further cemented its use as a medium of exchange and a symbol of wealth. Nigeria launched NigeriaSat, the one in 2003, using it for mapping, disaster monitoring, and agriculture. That is the first African country to launch a satellite into space. Did you also know that elephants can hear with their feet? Meaning they can detect low-frequency vibrations through the ground using their sensitive feet, particularly their large fatty pads. This allows them to communicate with each other over long distances and detect danger or changes in the environment. And that's all for today on Today in History. And did you know, live on Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. Join me same time tomorrow for more amazing, fascinating, and intriguing facts.
Yeah, the fascinating, intriguing facts. All right. So today I got to know that elephants can hear with their feet. Someone will talk here, then to travel all the way to their feet. Hey, God is wonderful. Seriously, you want to say something? No, but God is wonderful.
Very.
Because, like, we could just hear here, but the elephants get to hear in their feet as well. Isn't he wonderful?
Wonderful.
Wow, that's indeed intriguing. All right, this is where we draw the curtains for the first segment of the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. Right after this, we'll be going for the news, and after the news, we will be coming up with a second segment. But before we go, GTR from Monsario.
Yes, sorry, we are workers.
Monsario.
Yeah, sorry.
Monsario.
Yeah, sorry.
So, today is our manager's birthday. We actually want to use this opportunity to wish our manager, Papa Kwesi, a happy birthday. Thank you for all you do for us. Yeah, we are so grateful for having you as our manager. Yeah, right after the show, we'll do the rest back door. All right, thank you so much.
Hello Ghana, hello worldwide, I'm Mr. Level Bam. Now listen, every Tuesday and Friday, beyond the time it's going to carry Brell, our Ghana Talks Radio, 7 p.m. sharp. Now Tuesday, we're going to talk about our culture, our history. Matuni ding setete abako sem. Now on the Friday, you bars on bars. You better rap, you better say ade. No artists go join me in the studio. We're going to discuss about music and business. Konya, or you singer, and now you rapper, you think say you get bars. You go spit fire. Now listen, make you join me with studios. Our Ghana Talks Radio, and yes, say then our day. Me say download the Ghana Talks Radio app, no, our Play Store, any App Store. No tune in, and say this what I see, Baba Live on Facebook, Cointakra, any Ghana Talks Radio page, and so now listen, about your fire, 1 year, Konya, Wading, Jajai.
What do you want for breakfast? How do you want your breakfast?
English breakfast, French fries.
Koko Nikosi, alo komi keshito.
Wache.
Well, Gobe is the real deal.
Join us on Ghana Talks Radio. Let's serve you a buffet of breakfast.
From news headlines review, current affairs to social issues.
Entertainment, sports, and all the trending stories live on our mobile app and across all socials from Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
With me, Pakwesi Omare.
Regina Bliss.
Deborah Adoso.
And I am Esinal Fiagbedu. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show.
We are GTR, Ghana Talks Radio. We bring you local news, business news, international, sports, and entertainment news. Right here on GTR.
Good morning and welcome to the morning news broadcast live on Ghana Talks Radio. Coming up, Ghana Health Service Director General appeal to nurses to resume work. Former Member of Parliament for Anyaso Utuom condemns government over nurses strike. Mineral Commission to reform mining license. Assemblies of God backs National Prayer and Thanksgiving Day. Fidelity Bank reports strong profitability and business growth. These and many more coming up shortly. My name is Deborah Adoso.
Ghana Talks Radio, number one.
The Ghana Health Service Director General Professor Samuel Kaba has made a heartfelt appeal to nurses to resume work and negotiations. The nurses, represented by the Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association, have been on strike due to unresolved issues regarding their conditions of service. Professor Samuel urges nurses to prioritize patient well-being whilst continuing negotiations. Meanwhile, the strike has disrupted healthcare delivery across the country.
Sisters and brother nurses to come back to work. Just like yesterday, I said to one nurse that if you come to the hospital now, you as a nurse, and you are pregnant, you are going to deliver, because she was a pregnant nurse. What are you going to say? Will you say, I won't deliver today because we are on strike? You'll be shouting, let's all do this. Let's go back to the negotiation table. If it's your auntie, your mother who is sick, what are you going to do? Will you say, I won't take her to the hospital because we are on strike? And when you go to the hospital, who do you expect to take care of your mom or you yourself? So I humbly add my voice to the Honorable Minister that please come back to work and let's continue negotiating.
In related news story, former Member of Parliament for Anyaso Utuom and a medical practitioner, Dr. Dixon Kisi, has expressed concerns about the current state of affairs in the country. According to him, if nurses cannot feel the impact of the CD appreciation, then we have a significant problem as a country. Dr. Kisi believes the government should address the concerns of nurses.
But be it as it may, I want to reiterate that we have a general major crisis of nurses and health workers exiting the country. Yeah. And we have not even had a very solid strategy to attend to that. And if this should proceed, it would worsen, let me say, the excitement to leave the country. And I worry. It's not all of us that are, as it is, entangled or committed to delivering quality care in our country. Others would want to go for greener pastures. And I cannot blame them. I mean, if you're a doctor in Ghana as compared to the UKs and the Americas, trust me, you live a very comfortable life. Barest minimum, you can buy a house, a car, your kids will go to very good schools. And I think that might not be too much to ask for, based on the long hours of education, long hours of work. So we need to be mindful and pay very serious attention to this in the face of the many positive earnings that finance minister is showing. And this certainly tells us one key thing, that forex exchange rate is not everything. If your forex is doing well and your nurses are on strike, then that means we have a big problem. So at Forcing, with the greatest of respect, let's look at Ghana in a very holistic manner. Let's not zone in on just forex exchange. And this one, healthcare has exposed us, about our economy, and the ever so positive noise about the forex exchange is being drowned now by the fact that our healthcare.
Moving on, the Mineral Commission of Ghana is planning to reform the licensing regimes for mining companies. According to Emmanuel Enyima, the Deputy Chief Executive, the move aims to improve the regulation and management of Ghana's mineral resources. The ministry has taken steps to enhance the license process in introducing online applications and registration to streamline procedures and improve efficiency. The reforms are expected to promote sustainable mineral resource development.
Yadeba in the mining sector, a friend of the cooperative mining scheme. Because who say in Pendodo issues of illegal mining, a friend of Galamsey, just because baby I had to go to a how. And not in any afraid good course. Ghana baby a good war. Name quine ben ye bay and she share pa, ye be too a good deal no a quine passo. Ye baby fire benuan baby a take from Minerals Commission. In fact, licenses are near the ama in Crawford even after 7 December to Abaniwe. Most about 57 licenses inside the ama in Crawford. Ebianco through due processes in Nema. Into minister nearby and yate committee ye share the licensing reforms any regimes are ye be faso ye be licensing no. And at this time the kind of licenses ye be no. Ye betina Minerals Commission office. And obia o nim elembele. Ya minyesho swako elembele da. Good wo pa. Good wo elembele papa. Nuti na uhu we anko branch na uhu sa say no. They call Western ho ne de elembele good wo ho. And oba a big gold mining company or friend Adamus. And it was small scale mining companies. But basically no the and say obiti elembele on non faka nombra Minerals Commission office in Crown anything. Into not na baby otina no to gold no. This time she share and says licensing regime any grassroots they call form you set up a committee on the validation of the cooperative license no into no the DC police ahemfo alternative livelihood for a womb community phone be your nipa ba ko wom into say open license omba Minerals Commission office biom yeah no an say o community na this committee na wo set it up no so committee na be start validation of the license because se memete hase ya me nimpo se elembele no hase mpo na good ni wo ba committee no ebenya that mandate.
Moving on, the General Superintendent of the Assemblies of God, Ghana, Reverend Stephen Wingham, has thrown his full support behind the upcoming National Day of Prayer and Thanksgiving. He emphasized on the significance of religious unity in the country. He made the remarks during a courtesy call by the Planning Committee, led by Chairman Elvis Efie Ankra, on Monday, June 9th, as part of stakeholder engagement ahead of the national observance. The event will begin with a Christian prayer service at the forecourt of the State House from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m., followed by Muslim prayers at the National Mosque. Simultaneously, prayer sessions will also be held in all 16 regions across the 275 districts of the country. In business, Fidelity Bank Ghana, The nation's largest privately owned indigenous bank held its annual general meeting on May 30th, showcasing robust financial performance, strategic resilience, and a commitment to innovation. The meeting, attended by shareholders and other stakeholders, highlighted the bank's achievement for the year ended December 31st, 2024, and outlined its vision for sustained growth in 2025 and beyond. Mr. James Reynolds Baden, board chairman of Fidelity Bank, reflected on the bank's resilience. Despite this exigencies, including Ghana's external debt restructuring, which imposed substantial losses on banks, we delivered strong results, he said. Despite industry-wide constraints, the bank delivered a strong performance, with operating income growing by 15% to 2.34 billion, up from 2.3 billion in 2023, marking the second consecutive year of surpassing 2.0 billion in annual revenues. Profit before tax also saw an increase of 4%, reaching 1.21 billion, indicating stability in the face of a difficult operating environment. In addition, the bank's total assets grew considerably by 28% to 22.11 billion, driven from a robust 40% growth in deposits, which reached 17.65 billion. Mr. Baden acknowledged the impact of external shocks, including a 37 haircut on Ghana's Eurobonds holdings and income loss due to the increased cash reserve requirement. Our ability to navigate these challenges underscores the strength of our balance sheet and risk management framework, he added. Despite a sector-wide decline in asset quality, Fidelity Bank prioritized the health and quality of its lending portfolio. The bank's loan and advances at 3.14 billion reflect a measured and disciplined growth strategy aimed at navigating the high-risk environment effectively. Investment securities grew by 3% to 7.19 billion, and the bank's non-performing loan ratio remained below 10%, significantly below the industry average. Furthermore, shareholder funds recorded a growth of 44% to end 2024 at 2.7 billion, with the capital adequacy ratio without regulatory reliefs improving significantly to 19.55% from 14.38% in 2023. In recognition of this performance, shareholders approved an ordinary dividend of 8.0 per share for 2024. Looking ahead, Mr. Baden affirmed the bank's strategic focus on enhancing customer experience, driving sustainable growth, and improving operational agility. We are prioritizing risk management and embedding ESG consideration across our operations, whilst advancing digital innovation and process efficiency, he noted. Meanwhile, the managing director, Mr. Julian Opuni, highlighted how the bank deepened its leadership in key segments. In 2024, we enhanced our retail and small-medium enterprise lending framework with a strong focus on cash flow-based lending. Our partnerships with fintechs enabled greater access for undeserved markets in the informal sector, he said. Mr. Opuni also emphasized operational improvement. In line with his green finance agenda, Fidelity Bank will scale up initiatives such as the Green Tech Innovation Challenge and launch Orange Inspire, a dedicated fund to support Ghana's creative economy through financing, incubation, and enterprise development. In 2024, Fidelity Bank's achievements garnered numerous accolades, including recognition as Best Small-Medium Enterprise Bank by World Economic Magazine and Global Business and Finance Magazine Awards, Best ESG Bank at the Ghana Accountancy and Finance Awards, Best Bank for Sustainable Development by Global Banking and Finance, among many other recognitions that reaffirms its leadership in sustainability, innovation, and inclusive finance. Fidelity Bank is not only focused on excellence in financial performance, but also on driving change through innovation and purpose, and remains committed to delivering long-term value to its customers, shareholders, and communities it serves. Still on business news, banking consultant Dr. Richmond Atuahene has cautioned against proposals for the Bank of Ghana to allocate a portion of the cash reserve ratio to support local cocoa purchasing companies. His comments follow a suggestion by the Chief Executive Officer of Cocoa Board, Dr. Randy Abbey, that 2 to 3% of these reserves be redirected to sustain indigenous players in the cocoa sector. Dr. Atuahene underscored the reserve is a monetary policy tool designed strictly for liquidity management and not for financing private enterprises. If you divert these funds to purchase cocoa, you reduce the liquidity available to banks at the central banks, he said. Dr. Atuahene also noted that the Bank of Ghana does not pay interest on these reserves, describing them as unremunerated reserves. Let's be clear, he stated, when the Bank of Ghana requires banks to hold a certain percentage of deposits as reserves, it does not pay interest on those funds. So we are now suggesting that money which banks are already not earning interest on should be handed over for cocoa purchase. I strongly disagree, he noted. Dr. Atuahene warned that tempering statutory reserves for commercial purposes could undermine the credibility of monetary policy and destabilize the financial sector. In sports, former Asante Kotoko head coach Charles Kwabla Akono has voiced his frustration over the persistent controversies that continue to overshadow the Ghana Premier League year after year, reacting to the chaotic end of the 2024-2025 season marked by protest, claims of poor officiating, and mounting fan unrest. Akono called for urgent reforms to restore integrity and professionalism to the league. Speaking in an interview with GhanaTalks Radio, Akono described the repeated incidents as embarrassing and warned that they could derail the growth of Ghana's domestic game and hinder the development of future talent. It's embarrassing, you know, and it's important that every season these things happen. The last season, I think, was in Heart of Oak, and there was too much, and sanity must prevail in our league. It's not good because it doesn't take us anywhere, he said. CK Akono, who also captained the Black Stars during his playing days, stressed the significance of integrity in the league's development, especially in shaping the future of young footballers coming through the local system. It has to be better. We can do better. We've come a long way, he said. It's always from our local league, so we need to improve the aspect of the way the delay when an opponent is leading us a tactic, a style of delaying, he added. He further highlighted the growing concerns around poor officiating, which has been a recurring theme in recent seasons, with several clubs and fans accusing referees of bias and incompetence. Matches officiating is a big problem, and I've heard it. What you are telling, he said. I've seen videos, whether it's true or not, I don't have the evidence, but these things keep coming, he added. Akono's comments are to growing calls for the Ghana Football Association and Premier League management to initiate reforms aimed at restoring credibility, improving match day standards, and creating a more competitive and transparent football environment. And that's how we end it on the news in brief on GhanaTalks Radio. Do well to log on to our streaming platforms, as well as logging on to www.GhanaTalksRadio.com for more detailed information. My name is Deborah Adoso. Do have a good morning.
Ghana Talks Radio, #1.
Are you ready to amplify your business or brand's reach and make a meaningful impact in Ghana and beyond? Partner with Ghana Talks Radio today to connect with a diverse audience across Ghana and beyond. Elevate your brand through on-air promotions and social media. Boost your brand during prime time. With Ghana Talks Radio, you can extend your reach across digital platforms. Ghana Talks Radio is not just a station, it is a community hub where your brand becomes part of the conversation. Join us in fostering connections, celebrating culture, and making a lasting impression. For customized sponsorship packages and enquiries, email contact@GhanaTalksRadio.com or call +233 202 544614. Ghana Talks Radio, giving the youth a voice.
This is Ghana Talks Radio, the best station rocking the nation.
Hello Ghana, hello worldwide, I'm level band. Now listen, every Tuesday and Friday, beyond the time it's going to carry Brell, our GhanaTalks Radio, 7 p.m. sharp. Now Tuesday, we're going to talk about our culture, our history. Matuni ding se tete abako sem. Now on the Friday, you bars on bars. You better rap, you better say ade. No artists go join me in the studio. We're going to discuss about music and business. Konya, or you singer, and now you rapper, you think say you get bars. You go fi spit fire. Now listen, make you join me with studios. Our Ghana Talks Radio and yes say then our day. Me say download the Ghana Talks Radio app no our Play Store and the App Store. Na tune in yes say this what you see baba live on Facebook, go Instagram, any Ghana Talks Radio page and so now listen. E be your fire. 1 year, Konya, Wading, Jajan.
It's a beautiful morning on Ghana Talks Radio where we bring you Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. Wherever you are listening to us, I want to wish you a good day. Stay along the ride. We are coming your way with the best of the best breakfast shows in the city of Accra. My name is Pakwesi Omari, your regular host. And as we always do it, on Tuesdays, we come along with entrepreneurs who share their journey, their story, how far they've come, the inspiration, the challenges, and the support that we can also offer them as a people. But before we get into that, today happens to be the birthday of our own manager, the one and only Papa Kwesi Abaka, manager, the manager of Ghana Talks Radio, Yenyanaya boss. Today is his birthday, and from the entire staff, from the entire company of Ghana Talks Radio, we want to wish him a beautiful, happy birthday. May God bless you. May God expand your territories, and we want to use this special day of yours to show our appreciation to you for your dedication, your inspiration, your commitment to getting all the pieces together to make sure the team is formidable and successful. Whatever you do here is what keeps us all running. We want to use today to thank you, to appreciate you, to show our gratitude to you for giving us all the opportunity, the platform to grow and become whatever we are meant to be. You are such a leader that every subject will wish and hope for. We thank you. We wish you a beautiful and a handsome birthday as you are. Afi Radi Nyankopo Oma Ware. Niemra wedding ye made dijo love for Nebanku Kakra. Why? Afi dia ware papa, yes, ware. So that is it for our manager. Whoever has a gift for him, or some menjeje gift no. Mumwa miame line no bibia foforo nso aduane a invite me metuma be di on his behalf. What I say to the bia metuma ma rock ni fiko aka me ho was uncle for me who say be na aduane o mo mfa ni agro, but you know it's all the work for our manager. Why it me didi man no ni ade nyina anti. That is it for papa ana producer na boa ahunzu be di bi or my producer no come on pedianesa. So yeah, let's get into the business of the day. Don't forget to join the conversation on all our social media platforms, on TikTok, on X, on Facebook, and on Instagram. She said, you know, at Ghana Talks Radio. Also, our YouTube channel is active. You can join the conversation there, Ghana Talks Radio. And our WhatsApp line is 0202 544 614. 0202 544 614. This morning, I have two able gentlemen in the studio with me to hold the conversation on their entrepreneurial journey so far. They are here to inspire us, educate us, share their journey, and in turn, we also give them the platform to advertise what they do for us as a people and as a country and in society. So, without much talking, let me welcome them into the studio. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Yeah. So as you know, my name is Pakwesi. I eat on the behalf of my manager. Today is his birthday. So if you have any gift for him, you can give it to me. If it is food, I can eat for him. If it's money, that one, his account is there. You can send it to him. Yeah. But yeah, we welcome you on Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. This is Ghana Talks Radio.
Yeah. Thanks very much.
Yeah.
Yeah, my name is Joel.
Okay.
And I'm here with...
I'm Isaac.
Isaac.
The CEO and founder of Slim Fowl.
Wow. CEO and founder of Slim... Actually, the CEOs we have in Ghana, so fresh. Say and the CEO be finance and about. But yes, Slim Fowl
Yes.
Foundation. What is it about?
It's not a foundation.
It's not a foundation.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's just Slim Fowl.
Yeah, Slim Fowl Incorporation.
Incorporation. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. What is Slim Fowl Incorporation?
So Slim Fowl is a file compression web application that helps reduce file sizes without significantly compromising the quality.
Okay.
So, for example, if you have huge box of files where you are having difficulties in sending it with send limits or with file storage and all that, Slim File is here to help reduce file sizes. It supports formats like PNG, supports formats like JPEG, PDFs, web files, and then JPG.
Wow. So it's like a tech incorporation.
Yes, please.
Oh, okay. So how long have you been in existence?
Oh, we've been in existence for up to 3 months now.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah. As that young.
Yes.
What brought about the what sparked the dream? What is the inspiration behind Slim File Incorporation?
So we are students of Central University, level 100 students.
I said it. They have money. Central fees.
Okay, so we are all in one class.
Okay.
The whole team is in one class, and we all gathered ideas about keeping ourselves, like trying to learn more things, new things on this tech field. Yeah. So he came about the idea. He came about the main idea about compression. So we had to just learn and then come together as a team to build this up. Yeah. So that's how we came about.
I think I can continue from there.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. I think there has been a challenge regarding, especially iPhone users, talking about storage, iCloud space, and all that. Yeah. So I just feel like, why don't we create something like a file compression algorithm, right? An algorithm which will be capable of reducing the file sizes without significantly compromising the quality. Imagine if you have about 100 files, either image files or PDFs, and then you are supposed to send them, transfer them from maybe one media to another, or upload them in a system, and each file is having an average size of say 5 megabytes. And then we've written a compression algorithm that's able to reduce the size to 1 megabyte each. Then in the actual sense, for 100 files being 5 megabytes each, you would need about 500 500 megabytes to send it. And then here is the case that the compression algorithm is helping you reduce it to an average of say 1 megabyte. Then instead of using 500 megabytes data, you just need 100 megabyte data. So if you do the math, you know that you are saving up to 90% reduction.
Wow. And even in the reduction of, let's say, the size, it's still not going to compromise the...
Yes.
No.
Wow.
Because we know what we do, and then we've written the algorithm in that way that it shouldn't compromise the quality.
Wow.
Although when it comes to compression,
Yeah.
there is some quality loss, but it's not significant.
Okay. Let me ask this. Okay, how does it work? Let's say I want to get a slim file
Yes.
app. Is it an app?
Yeah, it's a web application.
A web app
Yes.
on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to control it from your end for me, or I need to? Or I can control it.
Okay, so
from my
you
own?
can actually access the web application with your phone yourself. So when you go to Google, you just type slim file or www.slim-file.com.
Okay.
It's going to give you the website. So when you get there, you can easily install from the website.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And also, when you get there, maybe you want to compress your file or maybe an image, you can just upload the compress button is there. So when you just tap on it, after getting on the website, you can tap on the compress button. It's going to get you to where the compression actually works. Then you just upload your file or the image.
Okay.
Then it gives you the statistics after compression.
Yeah.
Gives you the statistics, and you can download it afterwards. Yeah. So that's how it works.
That's
it's
how
very
it works.
easy.
Yeah. Can I make a scenario, please?
I will love that.
Yes. I think I'm a software developer myself.
Okay.
So most of the times when I visit certain websites or certain applications, because of the loading speed, it's affected by the sizes the file uploads within that software or that app. So if you are a corporate company or there's a system that has a lot of inbuilt files with bulky sizes, and then slim file is here to help alleviate that. So the previous example that I made regarding compressing the numerous sizes, we can tell you for the fact that slim file is able to compress about 500 files at once.
Really?
Yes, please.
500 at once.
500 files at once.
Hey.
That's how powerful the algorithm is.
The time duration is
very short. It won't take
up to 3 minutes,
3 or 5 minutes, depending on the file size and everything. Yes, but it has that capability of accepting 500 files at a time.
Wow.
Yes.
That's interesting. Let me get it straight. Okay, so let's say that's my phone. I have so many files on it. Sometimes if I want to even save some files, they'll tell me, oh, your storage is blah blah. So then I would have to delete some files one after the other one. Can slim file help me in this instance?
Yes. So this instance like this, you select all the files. Let's say the files are up to 400.
Yeah. Like the ones on my phone or the one I want to
the one you want to read or the ones on your phone.
Okay.
Yes. So you upload all of them. You visit the website. You upload all of them, and then you hit the compression button, and then it starts processing. Within 5 minutes, compression is done. When the compression is done, and then you want the compressed files to replace the original files, then immediately the compression is done, you can get back to your gallery, delete everything, and then download the compressed version from the app, and then it will automatically replace all of them in your gallery.
Hey, Charlie. How did this whole thing come into your mind?
So I actually used to face storage challenges. So I thought of, since I'm a computer science student, I have to be able to use technology to solve something in real life. So why don't I write an algorithm that will be able to do that? And it took me almost a year to finish my research before we even started writing the algorithm.
Wow. There's a Mark Zuckerberg type of innovation. So how many are you on the team?
We are now 8.
8 people.
Yeah,
Okay.
8 people.
Okay.
And everyone has his or her role that they play.
Wow. So what are some of the roles that the team plays? Okay,
Like
and
team
let me
members.
ask this.
Okay.
Is a team only formed to handle slim file, or there are other aspects of IT that as a team you would want to explore?
Yeah, I think we have a marketing team. We
Okay.
have UI UX designers. We have graphic designers. We have website developers. We have
Okay.
front end and back end
Back-end.
developers who help facilitate our flow. And then
Okay.
our main aim is to build a physical company here. So we are not just a virtual company online, but then
Oh.
our main aim is to build a physical
A
company
physical
here.
company.
Yes.
Okay, I'm getting it now. So like how it's 2025.
Yes.
At what time frame are you looking to build up your physical company?
Yeah.
Let's say in the next 5, 10, or 2 years, or even the next 6 months.
Yeah, so basically the basis of that will be on funding,
Okay.
which we are already on. We are already applying for funding, and then for our multiple compression that is able to accept up to 500 files at the same time, we are trying to move that to a premium version where users would have to pay an amount of $10 per month to be able to use the multiple compression. If you don't want to compress files one by one and you want to do multiple compression, then yes, then you'd have to subscribe to our premium so that you'll be able to do it. But then as I talk now, it is free. Everything is free there.
Yeah, let me do mine before you bring the yeah.
Yeah, so we are actually targeting that by the time that we complete school in about 3 to 4 years to come, then probably we put something that, if not our own office, maybe a rented office where we can take it from there.
Okay. So in the sphere of your service, are you looking to, let's say, be on contract with companies? Let's say this, for instance, our company, we can contract you. Oh, we want you to come and do this file compression for us on our data, blah blah. You charge, you come and do, or maybe you would be signed on, hired or employed by a certain company that you are their data managing aspect. So every now and then you are handling their data. Month goes, you get paid, blah blah. Like, is that something that you are considering, or you just want to be your independent body, do your stuff? People just hog on the website, upload it, and then do their own thing.
Yeah, I think our main goal is business to business.
Okay.
Before we come to individuals. So yes, of course, we are open to collaboration with companies.
Okay.
Yes, that's our main goal.
Wow. Tell me some of the challenges you face so far, like coming up with the idea, executing the idea, and even making it work.
Yeah, I think I started everything before I added other people to the team, and then just imagine one person writing all the codes. I mean, it's sometimes frustrating debugging. Sometimes you would write and it's homework, you'd have to go do research and all that. So those are some of the challenges that I faced, that sometimes you will just do it, but it wouldn't work.
Okay.
And then you just keep on researching, and then it finally works. So when we go to school, I realized that it's something that I can't do it alone. I can't manage everything. So why don't I pair up with a team so that we can take it from there?
So looking at doing it by yourself in the beginning and getting the team on board, what has been the difference? Let me put it that way.
Yeah, so there has been a huge difference, like a very huge difference. And then I think it is just natural to say that it's difficult for one person to handle everything.
Okay.
Because there are a lot of aspects when it comes to business management as a whole. Because Slimfile is not just a web application. Like I said, we want to build a physical business. So we would actually need digital marketers, we'd actually need people who track the website performance, people who do our flyers, people who do our user interface stuff. So it just one person just can't do it. So I feel like it has been some spontaneous growth in a short while.
Okay.
Yeah,
Joel, yeah, sure. Joe, tell me your experience being a part of this team.
It's been a very great time being with him because he's a very broadened-minded guy. Yeah, so with the idea he brought to me, I think I'm the first person he introduced it to. So after talking to me, I was like, why not? I can do something to help. And it's made me learn a lot as well as an IT person, because you can see with the school, it's not much that they teach. You have to learn and do your own research. Being with Slimfar has made me also advance my performance with researching and getting to know much more about the work field.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. So it's been a very great experience, and I've learned much more. I can say for now, I've really learned much more, and from him as well.
Yeah.
And then from where we started from till now, there has been a very big progress.
Okay.
Yeah, in all our team members, everyone has actually done much for it to happen, for us to get to this point. Yeah.
Wow.
Everyone has done this.
Okay. As a tech innovator yourself, would you say, or looking at we as a country, our tech space, would you say that we've built so much capacity in an advanced level when it comes to tech, or we are now catching up? For instance, with this slim file innovation, is that something that, let's say, when you introduce to people, it sounds like a miracle to them, or it's something that they think, oh yeah, actually there's a part of tech, we already have knowledge about it and all that stuff, even though it hasn't come into. Looking at all these things, Ghana as a country, as a whole, do you think we are up there in the tech space, or you think we are now catching up? And if that is the case, do you think the country, our education system, for instance, or especially, has created that space for us to have the tech growth, to have the tech acceptance?
Yeah, thank you. I think we are not there yet.
Okay.
I see that Ghana especially, we are not there yet, because me being a computer science student, I can tell from some of the things that we learn from school, most of them is not practicalized.
Okay.
And then there is a saying in our communities that Ghanaian youths are not innovative enough. And then here is what I ask myself. I know that you can't tell me that all Ghanaian youths are not innovative. Okay. One way or the other, there are some few people who are innovative, and then I feel like these few ones need some form of recognition.
Okay.
There are other people who have done like good works in tech, who have done something very good, something very innovative, and then for them to get their breakthroughs and then get to where they want, mostly they get some sort of support and recognition outside the country.
Okay.
Meanwhile, the person is here in the country, and then why shouldn't the person get the recognition? The person gets the recognition from outside the country, and then when the person gets to where he or she is supposed to get, then they come to reference that this person is actually from Ghana.
So, what are some of the challenges you think should be addressed in the tech field?
Yeah, I think one thing I would say is, if someone is innovative enough, and then there is the innovation that solves the problem, then the person should get some form of recognition, regarding if the person needs some form of funding to scale what he or she is doing. Then I think recognition is everything.
Recognition is everything. Yes. On that note, I think I will commend GhanaTalks Radio. I mean, I can say for a fact that we are the first people to give you the recognition.
Yes.
And we will continue to push your agenda for you. Whatever you want to publicize, our doors are always open for you to walk in. We'll give you the platform, you share, because I love innovative stuff. I really love innovative stuff. I like people who put their brains to extra efforts, because especially in the field of tech, the decoding, the research, Charlie, you won't be you need some, you know. So when you come across people who have dedicated their time to make life simpler for other people, you need to recommend them and encourage them to do more. And yes, in making life simpler and easier, you know, people have this mindset that, oh, Charlie, this tech thing that is now taking over is actually going to reduce workforce for people. Like, idea was say, "We employ you be no ya now be employment na me no when you tech inti." I mean, see as lem file aba. Obi enu obe frame is nipa need to minya on the phone so papa we so nka first no be frame wo meye ma de na say menya 300 cedis be there to me bottom. Do you think that assertion about tech is true, or is something that rather can advance should I say employment in the business field? I will take Joel on this one.
Okay, so what you are saying actually is actually true, because I think from what we are seeing right now, tech is actually taking over in various aspects of the job space, and I think we are not actually pushing much more of the tech aspects. We are pushing much more of the workforce, the normal labor force, than the tech aspect, which is actually also not really balanced in the system. I think when tech is actually there to help, and then we need technicians there are technicians that control the brain behind the tech. Every innovation, every tech innovation project is being controlled by people. You get it? And there are much more open workspace for people to work behind the doors when there is a tech innovation program or project. Hope you understand. So I think people should also try and learn, broaden their research, their skills, and to learn much more about tech as well. Because in our communities, people are like, if someone is into tech, the person is a different kind of human. To be an extraordinary type of person. But I can see tech is not only for the extraordinary type of human. It's for everyone. You can learn it, I can learn it. Once you have the passion behind it, you can actually do it.
Now, speaking of the balance between the workforce and the tech innovation itself, in what aspect do you think we can collaborate it? Where do you think we need more? Is it the people behind the tech? Where should we push more? People behind the tech, or the people bringing up the innovation?
People bringing up the innovation should be more.
And there should be more.
People also behind the tech aspect as well. But I think behind the innovation should be much more. Yes, because they need people who are innovating more stuff, need more people to support, and then to give ideas, share ideas. And then also there are aspects like Slim Fowl, for instance. Slim Fowl, he started it alone, but he needed people to join. Hope you understand. So you can push into the innovations aspect, and then the work that's the behind the scene of tech as well.
Mr. Innovator, you very soon you'll be amongst the millionaires in Ghana, so because this innovation is huge. This is something that, I mean, if the corporate world should really get to understand it and embrace it, Charlie, you are good to go. And Land Cruiser be crying na be see na dey. Get for interview crowd because he emra wo fee na ye. And I request for virtual. But then unemployment is one of the biggest issues we have in Ghana. We've seen the government trying to push tech as one of the ways to resolve this. What are some of the aspects as a tech innovator yourself? What are some of the fields in tech that you would advise the government to really look at and explore?
Yeah, I think what I will say about this is there are lots of fields in tech, and then all the fields need people.
Okay.
And then there is something called version control, like version control. Let me explain that.
Yeah, explain it.
There is this these AIs are coming up, and a lot of people are saying that it might take their jobs and all that. But if someone wants to design a flyer, and the person writes a prompt to an AI that the AI should design the flyer, if the person doesn't write the prompt, will the AI be able to design the flyer? No.
Okay.
So the tools behind it, the knowledge behind it, that's the version control.
Okay.
If you want the AI to write the code for you, the AI will not deploy the code for you. The AI will not download dependencies on your laptop for you. So if you understand those version control, the dots that you have to join together for the thing to work, then what's left for you is to understand the code. If you have zero knowledge about code, and then you want the AI to write, for example, the code for you, then you have to make sure that you understand what we call the semantics of the code structure.
Okay.
So you know that you have to join this and this so that it will work. So if to answer your question, the tech space is very broad. There are software developers, there are cyber securities, there are website developers, there are UI UX developers, and looking at how the world is going, I think it should push more on the software development aspect, so that we aim at writing algorithms that solve real world problems, and then that helps increase productivity. Slimfile, as example, if you want to send over a file that is let's say 100 megabytes, and then the platform is giving you a limit of 50 megabytes, that's when Slimfile helps you reduce it so that you'll be able to send it. A lot of people do college applications, some of them their masters, some of them their bachelor's degrees, they send a lot of transcripts over. Someone was having a challenge of not being able to submit her transcript because of the size limit, and then Slimfile was able to help reduce the size, and it was able to submit it successfully. So if it's able to solve real world problem and then help increase productivity, then it's great. So I think it should push more on the software development aspect, specifically the logic behind it. That's the algorithm.
Okay.
If we're able to write algorithm that solve real world problems, then in the future, Slimfile can be a tool where immediately you do the compression and then you are done. You don't have to go back and then delete it. It will automatically replace the original ones. Yes. And then that's the some of the updates that we are still working on. Yes.
Wow, that's great. Joe, what would you have to say regarding what?
Yeah, so it's actually really true. If to talk about the government's pushing much more into the web developers, that software developers, it's just the brain behind.
Okay.
Yes, we are here to solve like real world problems. Hope you understand. So they need to push much more into that, and then help us, support us, so that we can not only Slimfile but everyone trying to innovate something, initiate something, to be able to get to that point where they can say that they've really done well, they've really helped in the real world.
Okay. As a tech innovator, you've come up with Slimfile. What are some of the job opportunities you can give to people now? In this case, let me ask it in this manner. Let's say I don't have much experience in tech. I haven't had the privilege to be funded to go to school to become a technician. But you have set up a tech innovation platform. Can I be trained by you under the Slim File coding tech to also become a part of a tech developing platform or company?
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say the person would have to know some or should have some knowledge in coding, because regarding tech companies entails almost everyone.
Okay.
Because it's a big business. There are HRs, there are digital marketers, there are business strategists, there are analytical experts. So I feel like when it comes to tech, everyone can be there. Tech is not only about writing codes, and then tech is not only about programming, but tech involves everyone, because you write the code, you deploy the code, the code will go live. Who should advertise it? That's when the digital marketer comes in. Then who should manage the human resources? That's where the human resource manager comes in. So when it comes to tech, everyone can work there. So I feel like the job opportunities there. For example, Slim File, we get to where we want to get, and then becomes a bigger company. Everyone is welcome to work there, and then everyone can work there.
Okay. Yeah. Joe.
Yep.
I want to add to this.
Yeah, so we are also open to like help people get them that kind of skill they demand to know, like they demand to have. Hope you understand. So it's also gives other students, not only students, other people who have the idea, have the passion, but don't have the skill, to also come to us to learn from us. It will also help them to get a skill and then work with us as well.
Okay. It's been an honor, it's been a pleasure. You know, I've learned a bit more about tech today, like things that I didn't even think we could even do with tech. You know, but you know, this thing really worries people. Me, for instance, it worries me. Like, I hate that thing. You are trying to say something, you need to go back and delete things before you can. Charlie,
it's really frustrating.
Very, very frustrating. So there's something that you really need to be commended on, coming up with such a brain, exploring the antics of it, executing it, looking at even advancing it into a much broader articulated form. I think it's great. It's great. And as I mentioned earlier, Ghana Talks Radio is giving you the privilege, the opportunity to be a part of us. Whatever or whenever you need a platform to share something to the public, to advertise, you need a platform to highlight something to the public, our doors are always open. You just reach out to us, and we promise to give you the platform to do that. That is something that I really appreciate, you bringing it on board into the community, into the society, something that is really going to help the corporate world. So you really need to be commended on. As I said, just get in touch whenever, wherever, you know, and we will be there to support you. Before I leave you to go, you have the platform for your last words. If there is someone you want to thank, there is something you want to say to encourage people and all that.
So first of all, I would want to thank all Slim File team. They've been wonderful, they've been great, and then we are actually where we are because of their support. The team, like I said, I couldn't do everything by myself, so I want to thank the whole Slim File team. And then also there are yet a lot of updates we are doing, and a lot of innovative stuff we will bring up. Slim File wouldn't only end on file compression. And then before I forget, there is an inbuilt AI called Slim File, which is able to generate content through prompts.
Like that was also built by you.
Yes, it's also part of it. And then we also have a text editor, like a smaller version of MS Word. So you don't have to install MS Word on your laptop or download MS Word on your phone. Just in the Slim File website, you have your text editor, you have your compression tool, and then you have your Slim File AI.
So once I log on to the website, like I'll get access to all these things.
We don't need your credentials, so we don't accept logins. You just go to Slim File, that's all, and then you have access to it.
Wow.
And before we forget, people also complain about privacy.
Yes.
One thing is that your documents are secured. All the compression happens in the browser.
Okay.
So we don't have access to them.
Okay.
That's because people actually normally talk about, so what if I put sensitive documents over there and then you guys get access to it? I'm like, no.
It's client side.
It's client side, so everything happens in the browser and it's very secure.
Okay. Well, Joe, your last words before.
Okay, I want to just say thank you to GhanaTalks Radio for giving us this opportunity.
Sure.
And thanks to Slim File team. We couldn't have done it without everyone.
Sure.
And Central University, our school. Thanks to Central Radio as well for giving us opportunity as well. And our director, that's IT Directorate, Mr. Reverend Amuzu, and then Mr. Eni, and then our librarian, that's Mrs. Benedicta. I want to say thank you very much for giving us, seeing the potential in us and helping us, supporting us.
Okay, so this is where we will end the conversation on the Slim File Innovative Tech Company this morning. As I said earlier, our doors are always open for you. You can always reach out and we will receive you with open arms. Thank you for passing through and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you very much.
So yes, that was the conversation with the IT gurus from Central University, Ghana, who has come up with a tech innovation called the Slim File Incorporation. It does a lot. So just watch through the conversation. You get to know how to log on, get access to whatever this tech innovation can help you with. It makes life easier, especially for the corporate world and those who does a lot on their phones. I mean, this is something for you guys. So yeah, we thank them, and they will be coming our way with some more tech innovations along the line. This is the first segment of the show. The second segment will roll out very, very soon after this short commercial. Stay tuned.
Level band. Now listen, every Tuesday and Friday, beyond the time it's going to carry Brill. Our GhanaTalks Radio, 7 p.m. sharp. Now Tuesday, we're gonna talk about our culture, our history. Matuni ding se tete abako sem. No on the Friday, you bars on bars. You better rap, you better say ade. No artists go join me in the studio. We're gonna discuss about music and business. Konya, or you singer, and now you rapper, you think say you get bars. You go spit fire. Now listen, make you join me with studios. Our GhanaTalks Radio, and yes, say then our day. Me say download the GhanaTalks Radio app, no, our Play Store, any App Store. No tune in, and say this is what you see, baby live on Facebook, Cointakra, any GhanaTalks Radio page, and so now listen, about your fire, 1 year, Konya, Wading, Jajai.
Are you ready to amplify your business or brand's reach and make a meaningful impact in Ghana and beyond? Partner with GhanaTalks Radio today to connect with a diverse audience across Ghana and beyond. Elevate your brand through on-air promotions and social media. Boost your brand during prime time. With GhanaTalks Radio, you can extend your reach across digital platforms. GhanaTalks Radio is not just a station, it is a community hub where your brand becomes part of the conversation. Join us in fostering connections, celebrating culture, and making a lasting impression. For customized sponsorship packages and enquiries, email contact@GhanaTalksRadio.com ghanatalksradio.co or call +233 202 544614. Ghana Talks Radio, giving the youth a voice.
What do you want for breakfast? How do you want your breakfast?
English breakfast, French fries.
Koko Nikosi, alo komi kesheto.
Wache.
Well, Gobe is the real deal.
Join us on Ghana Talks Radio. Let's serve you a buffet of breakfast.
From news headlines review, current affairs to social issues.
Entertainment, sports, and all the trending stories live on our mobile app and across all socials from Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
With me, Pakwesi Omare,
Regina Bless,
Deborah Adoso,
and I am Esinal Fiagbedu. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show.
Hello Ghana, hello worldwide, I'm level band. Now listen, every Tuesday and Friday, beyond the time it's going to carry Brell, our Ghana Talks Radio, 7 p.m. sharp. Now Tuesday, we're going to talk about our culture, our history. Matuni ding setete abako sem. Now on the Friday, you bars on bars. You better rap, you better say ade. No artists go join me in the studio. We're going to discuss about music and business. Konya, or you singer, and now you rapper, you think say you get bars. You go fit spit fire. Now listen, make you join me with studios. Our Ghana Talks Radio, and you say then our day. Me say download the Ghana Talks Radio app, no, our Play Store, any App Store. Not tune in, and say this is what you see. Baba live on Facebook, Cointakra, any Ghana Talks Radio page, and so now listen. I bet you fire 1 year, Konya, Wading, Jajan.
So we are back on your airwaves with the second segment of the show, Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. In the studios with me are my able guests for today's discussion, representing the two major political parties in the country, in that of NDC and the NPP. And as usual, on Tuesdays, our regular guest, the one and only Enoch Yao. Yaudina ake and I say ake.
Ake.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, Mbacho Ben will win the kakrama. And today we have a surprise guest who will also become a regular on the show for us, and that's in the person of Emmanuel. Ima.
Yes, boss.
Ima dear senior what target NPP for me name the NT or my ding. More to near my so model levy, yeah, and who need tin and I air ban. But you are welcome on Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. Yeah,
I'm very grateful. I think today I'm meeting one of my political godfathers here.
Oh wow!
Yes,
wow,
please.
wow.
In the space of NASPA.
Oh,
he has influenced a lot of us, and so it's a privilege to have been on the same show with him. But I mean, we are going to have a logical argument, and he being my godfather, he should expect that for his training, I'm going to also exercise the same training on him. And so today we are going to have a friendly conversation.
Who could rule? Oh, yeah, now man, warning or show us. Yeah, the man warning. Yeah, but then, it's an honor to have both of you on the show. Let's get right into the conversations. But before we do that, Ima, your party. More introduce one Ghana Levy be. So far, I say people are still trying to get the fundamentals of this whole levy thing. You campaigned against taxes and levies in opposition. You come into power, you take off that which was brought in by your political opponents, with assurance that Momo they are not going to do the same. And on the blind side of the people, no consultation, no prior notice. Bam, we wake up to a levy on fuel. What's up with that?
I think first of all, I would say a very good morning to your listeners and then Ghanaians at large.
Sure.
That also a good morning to the president of the country, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, and then also a very good morning to Otumfo Osetutu. That yesterday we did the year of the Mampong
Sure.
And so, fast forward, the NDC as a party has always been there to protect the interest of Ghanaians. I have a simple definition to the 1D levy. Okay. And this is so simple, such that at a previous or in the reign of a previous government, we were buying a liter of fuel for about 16 cedis to about 17 cedis. Now, in a different reign, a regime of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, we are buying fuel at 12 cedis, about 12 cedis. And we came to meet a debt in the energy sector, about $3.1 billion. And the government, with all stakeholders involved, through the energy ministry, the sector, and everybody, thought so well that in the midst of this crisis, in the midst of this debt that is still there unfolding the Ghanaians at the energy sector, if you don't get rid of the levy, it's really going to make lights on each day a problem as an issue for the government. This NPP government has always lapped tagging Excellency John Dramani Mahama's government as a doomsday government. And so he thought so well of how to combat this crisis. And so he decided that why don't we together, as a country, take care of the cost that has been left behind by the previous government. And so each and every one is supposed to pay a 1 cedi when you are buying petrol or when you are buying diesel. And this is to the normal Ghanaian to understand that the price of the fuel is still going to remain as it is. There's not going to be an increment in the pricing of fuel. And then logically, Omari, if you used to buy a fuel at 16 cedis, about 17 cedis, and then now you're buying it at 12 cedis, let's just say there's been an addition of a cedi, which is about 13 cedis.
Sure.
In a logical mind, buying a fuel at 13 cedis per liter and buying at 16 cedis per liter, which one is comfortable for every Ghanaian? At least we've saved about 3 cedis in there. But then this is to communicate to the normal Ghanaian that there's not going to be any increase in the pricing of fuel in the next year. And so Ghanaians should stay calm with His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. He's been fulfilling the promises he made. The 120-day social contract he signed with Ghanaians, he's fulfilled. And then he's also trying his possible best that in this economic crisis, in this regime where things are so high, pricing of foodstuffs and then other things are really at high, he's trying his possible best. Now that we are seeing the cedi appreciating, everything will be fine. So far as His Excellency John Dramani Mahama remains the president of the country, and NDC will continue to reign in this country, everything will be fine. Every Ghanaian is going to be comfortable.
Okay. Thank you there, Emmanuel.
Omari,
welcome.
Thank you.
You have nothing to say about it. You've been talking about it, or you still want to say something about it?
Yes, I think this will be my first comment on this de-levy thing.
And last week we didn't talk about it?
No.
Oh, really?
Yes. So I could see my brother has tried as much as possible to force himself to give explanation to this. But my brother,
yes, sir.
When trust is broken, there's nothing that can solve it. This is a government that promised, spoke on, we won't introduce any tax. I remember Honorable Atuforsen clearly during his vetting. There's no need to introduce any tax. We have a lot of taxes. We can generate the revenue. We just have to ensure compliance. Why should we introduce a tax? Then this government comes in again within a twinkle of an eye. As Franklin Kujo said, the fastest pickpocket. But we see a tax. We wake up, then there is a new tax. Hey, what is the problem? De-levy. This is a government that cancelled a 1% tax. That was not even affecting every Ghanaian. It was not a compulsory tax. Betting tax, it was not a compulsory tax. Then you introduce an 8% tax on fuel. Let's not forget that this is a government that forced the hands of GPRTU to reduce their transport fares 15%. Let me correct my brother saying we left fuel at 16 or 17%. That is a lie. On facts, on 6th January or 7th January, we left fuel prices at 14.99.
Okay.
14.99. That is where we left the fuel price, 14.99.
Okay.
Now, you are saying there is a debt at the energy sector.
Yeah.
My brother, let's not forget that you have increased electricity tariffs 14%.
Enoch, with that one,
yes,
with that increment in electricity tariff, we all know
IMF policy, good, but
which you
my brother, yes, I'm coming. The point I'm making is the 14%, that fund, can't it solve the electricity debt problem? And let me come again. They are saying that we criminally manage the energy sector. Let me remind you that President John Dramani Mahama signed the take or pay agreement. That has left us debt in the energy sector.
So it was that
the excess capacity. We signed 500 million. We are paying 500 million every year. In the contract, do you know that when we use or we don't use, we are going to pay? Do you know that?
I know. But if we have excess capacity, how come we are still suffering from lack of capacity?
We should ask our brothers over here, because
you have been in power for 8 years.
My brother, in 8 years, can you count the number of doomsday we had in this country? Oh no, let's be factual. I'm very factual here. Within our 8 years and their 6 months, we can count the number of doomsday they have brought.
So are we saying that whatever challenges we have in the energy sector, we just accumulated it under their 6 months of
the point I'm trying to make it, they should never make the point that we criminally manage the energy sector, because they signed the take or pay agreement. Now moving fast forward, they are saying they've introduced one cedi on every liter on the fuel will go and buy, and the fact is that we've paid, they've reduced fuel to 12 cedis. Now there is 2 cedi difference over here. They've reduced from 14 to 12, 2 cedis, and you've added 1 cedi, and you are taxing the ordinary Ghanaian again 14 cedi, which is an IMF agreement, 14% IMF agreement. My point is, where is that fund going to? Let me tell you the honest truth. They do not want to tell us the truth. The truth is, with the cedi appreciation, we have lost revenue. There's a shortfall of 30%, and there is no money going to fix any doomsday problem. Let me tell you, cocoa, gold, when we transport them, it is dollar. When they presented their budget, there is dollars inside. 200 million at the time they presented their budget, at now, is going to be decrement. Do you agree with me?
Sure.
They should be truthful to Ghanaians and tell us that we are taking this money because we have a revenue shortfall of 30%. And we need money to fix in there. That is why we are introducing this tax rather than running behind, because this is the same government that told us in January that there is no doomsday. We have fixed it. Do you remember? President John Dramani Mahama himself, the same as the energy minister.
He said they will fix it. He didn't say they are fixing it.
They are fixing it.
He said they will fix it.
At the point they even told us they are done. Oh my brother, I won't lie to you. This is fact. Go and check. They told us they are done with doomsday. We won't see any doomsday again. Now you come back, and you know what pains me? The energy minister today is telling us that doomsday, how do we call it? The money they are even taking cannot even solve. Then what is the essence? And you are slapping the ordinary Ghanaian. This is robbing Peter to pay Paul. Why take off 1%, 11, introduce 8% on fuel? And let's be factual. In this country, fuel affects the ordinary Ghanaians even more than the exchange rate. Do you agree with me? Once there is increment in fuel, it affects food prices. But it affects everything.
There is no increment in fuel here. It's just a levy on it. And even in the next window pricing, fuel is going to drop again.
Yes. Do you know that GPR2 came out? That they are very disappointed in the government. They even threatened a strike.
Yes.
Because you have lied to them.
How?
Because you promised them that reduce it 15%, we've reduced your fuel for you. Then in the next 2 weeks or 1 week, you've introduced another 1% to them. Let's take the ordinary driver who is driving a trotro, Uber. Calculate the number of liters they are going to buy in a day and calculate. 1 gallon is 4 cedi, 50 pesos, my brother. Calculate. This is going to affect his sales. And this is directly affecting the ordinary Ghanaian more than the betting tax and the e-levy that you took off.
But even if we should be very logical here, the 1 cedi levy hasn't taken effect yet. Do you know that?
Yes.
The COMAC has requested that it should be taking effect on 16th. Do you know why they did that? Because on 15th, there is going to be a new pricing. And with that pricing, the fuel is going to reduce again. So that means no tangible effect is going to be had on the on a driver. Let's use them because they are the ones buying it. So even when it comes to GPRG, I think they are being unfair to us as a people. We can argue the fact that yes, these people are taxing us on the blind side. That probably, as you put it, maybe they are giving us a wrong notion of why they are taxing us. But when it comes to GPRTU, they are not even going to have that effect when it comes to this.
But my brother, do you know that the fuel pricing too, when you check the world market, it's right now it has come down. Dollar has come down, so it is affecting the fuel coming down. What if it goes up? What are these people going to do? Are you going to tell them not to increase their fares, GPRT to increase their fares?
Well, if so, don't you think they deserve the room for that? If it happens and the mismanages it, then
then the 1 cedi you've placed on 1 liter will then become a burden, because let's take this is just fuel price and it shakes. It doesn't stand at one point. If it goes up on the world market, it is definitely coming to affect our fuel here. Then it will transcend to the ordinary Ghanaian. So if it happens, so they are trying to avoid it in the sense that they know that with fuel price and it is not stable. So what if it goes up? How is it going? How are they going? Because now there's 1 cedi, and you know what pains me? Just 1 cedi. That is what even pains my heart. Just 1 cedi. Am I going to the fuel station to buy 1 liter? You see the kind of people we are dealing with. They are not honest with the ordinary Ghanaians, because you tell them that we MPP, and some people voted based on the promises they made. That the MPP has mismanaged the economy, criminally mismanaged the economy. They've burdened you with tax. I will take off e-levy. What? And then you take it off, and then you bring a tax that is even more than e-levy. My brother, we don't do that. At least you are telling us that you won't even introduce any tax. What happened? What happened now? Why are you not being truthful with the ordinary Ghanaian? Why didn't you tell us from the start that I will introduce the levy? And then in the middle of the night when we were all asleep, you did a fastest pickpocket, entering into parliament to pass. And you know what happened?
No.
After passing, you could see the president hurriedly signed it. It is orchestrated. It is already there. They've not been honest with the ordinary Ghanaian at all. They've not been honest, and they should bow their head in shame.
Okay. That's fair. Thank you, Enoch. Moving into the conversations for the day. Government says he's banning the importation of excavators under the fight against galamsey. We all know how disastrous this galamsey menace has been to us as a country and as a people, and there are so many initiatives we've seen being taken, even by previous governments and the current governments, to tackle this. And now the dimension we are looking at is to ban excavators into the country. How does this really concrete or fortify the fight against galamsey? Are we not massaging this fight, or we are just throwing in policies, a charade to make it seem like we are actually fighting galamsey?
Very well. And so, Mary, I was still continue to tell you that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is really concerned with the normal Ghanaian. He's really in to develop and then make the Ghana we want. And so that's why we are resetting the Ghana the NPP government left behind. This ban is one way or the other, in simple terms, being tagged as no permit, no excavator. And so the Ministry of Transport, under the auspices of the Honorable Bukari Nikpe, issued out that as time goes on from now onwards, if you are shipping an excavator into the country, you would need a permit from the required source to be able to give you, the privilege to ship in the excavators that is coming into the country. This galamsey menace has really been a thing. It has been there for a very long time. Under the 8 years regime of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, we saw the rise of galamsey in this our country. You could bear me witness that about some week ago, the Ashanti Regional Chairman of the MPP, the Honorable Chibu Esiakon, popularly known as Wuntumi, was invited to Yoko, and then some allegations were as part of this galamsey issue. The NPP has really, one way or the other, made money and then destroyed water bodies and destroyed our lands. And so this this government is really implementing policies or implementing ways to make sure that we get rid or we combat illegal mining. Okay, and so we've trained some people who are to govern our green water bodies, and then we've sent them across the forest, and then they are there to do what is required of them. There's been soldiers, there's been police that has been deployed to illegal mining sites and all of that. And so then again, one side of it is not permitting, if no permit, no excavator coming into the country. Okay, and then there is also a side of it that these excavators are going to be tracked as to where they pass, what they do daily, and all of that. Okay. And so we are really concerned with how our water bodies are being destroyed. You could see what River Pra has gone through, what big rivers in the country has gone through under the regime. Okay, when MPP was leaving government, we realized that they've leased out mining licenses to about 1,444 people or 444 individuals to mine, and as when Ghanaians were so much concerned about how their water bodies were being destroyed and all. And so we are in the process, honestly. John Dramani Mahama, as His Excellency, is so concerned about combating the illegal mining so far as Ghana remains at his heart. And so Ghanaians should be relaxed. The necessary processes are being taken. We are trying our possible best. The Excellency John Dramani Mahama is trying his possible best to make sure that we will restore our water bodies, we will restore our forests, and then all of that. And so, in my opinion, and then in the larger numbers of Ghanaians' opinion, we believe that the no permit, no excavator is one policy or is one way to help in combating illegal mining so far as this Galamsey issue is still concerned. Because one way or the other, you would have to, in getting the permit to bring the excavator in the country, you have to show your licenses as a miner, the licenses that you've secured from the Minerals Commission or from the mining sector, that you've been given the green light to do mining in Ghana. And so all this helps in combating the issue. And before His Excellency John Mahama leaves government, we would be so much happy. And then Ghanaians would see that Galamsey will be a thing of the past. And so we are assuring them that they should stay calm and then stay relaxed and then get to see changes in our forest reserves and then Galamsey as a whole.
Okay. Enoch, the NDC, as we all know, campaigned at the back of Galamsey, how they are going to fight and even stop it. And they've been given the nod. And yes, this is one of the policy implementations that they said is going to combat the fight against Galamsey, as your brother here just reiterated. What do you make of this? Do you think this is in the right cause, or you would have preferred other means?
I see, when we ban the excavators, it will stop Galamsey.
Well, it's a measure, it's a way of actually combating this.
As I'm saying, President John Dramani Mahama, when he ascended the throne of presidency on 7 January, I think he won the goodwill of the good Ghanaians, and everybody praised him from the start. He's doing well. I believe most of us even said he's doing well concerning the CD and everything. But I think for some time now, he's losing that goodwill. And if he's not careful, even before this year will end, Ghanaians will start rejecting him. And it will be another problem for the NDC government. You see, when you are in opposition, you think you have all the ideas. Honorable Elder Samnate George told us that the president, whom we are paying with our tax, if he wants to stop Galamsey, he can do that in just 1 week. I clearly remember the current lands and natural resources minister, Mr. Ama Kofi Bua, in parliament, lambasting the president during his last sooner. I clearly remember his words. You see, they are in government now, and it's already 6 months, and the president we are paying with our tax has not been able to combat it within 1 week. And now you see,
Notwithstanding the president whose salary has been donated to the Mahama Cares, and so for the past 6 months the president hasn't received any salary as it stands now. That's a president who cares about Ghanaians.
We all remember President Akufo-Addo also donated his salary during COVID. My brother, do you remember? So what he's saying there doesn't hold water. You see, when the you problem is there and you go around beating the bush, you find yourself wanting. You see, they could get into parliament at dawn and pass a bill.
So that's what they did.
I'm coming, a bill for D-levy. But have they repealed the LI? This is a government that is trying to be dishonest with the ordinary Ghanaian.
Honestly, Emmanuel, Sami Jenfi profoundly, clearly stated 3 months ago that when Parliament resumes, which they did last week, they are going to report the LI.
Very well.
And you haven't. It seems you people are honestly not being honest with us.
We are being honest.
Being honest.
It's a process. Okay. It has to be laid up on the floor of Parliament.
But you see, they had time for D-levy. That one, the one that will give them money. Yes, this is the government you are talking about, NDC government. So this government hasn't been able to repeal the LI. Now we are aware that, and we've seen videos of some of their party chairmen in this galamsey pit themselves. They've taken it upon themselves and are now doing the galamsey
themselves.
Yes, President Akufo-Addo in his first term promised a lot for galamsey, and we could see it affected him in his 2020 election. He lost.
That thing I won't buy.
That thing, it is very true. He lost.
I won't buy.
He lost.
Personally, I don't buy. A lot of Ghanaians also don't buy that.
Listen, he told us he will put his presidency on the line.
Did he?
He never did that.
Oh, my brother.
He never did that. He never did that.
No, you know that
in
2019,
he never did
this excavator thing happened. We even went on to even burn some.
And some also got lost. 500.
Some also got lost.
And
why are they?
Oh, my brother.
Omari, just to chip in, you know, I think you remember,
and
then I'd want to prompt my brother. I'd want to prompt my brother.
Speaking, I was quiet.
Nana Akufo-Addo's government, the then Lands and Natural Resource Minister, the Honorable Abu Jinapo, came out to tell Ghanaians that the Ashanti regional chairman, Akunta Mining, is tightly involved in illegal mining. And in Galamsey, the president then came out to refute the claims and to tell Ghanaians that Chairman Wuntumi is not doing illegal mining.
He said the president himself.
Emmanuel, let me say something.
Yeah.
You see, when we're talking, he was quiet. He is talking and you were interjecting. He has the free will to interject when you talk.
Oh no,
I'm giving him that.
That is when he's bringing out
So
false.
If now he also feels you are bringing out false, he will interject, and I'll allow him.
So this NPP government, as you rightly said, the Honorable Minister himself clearly came out to bring findings on original chairman of his party. It should clearly tell you the work Honorable Abu Jinapo was doing. Now coming back to the NDC government, you see, when you don't want to tackle the U problem and you want to hit around the bush, you still find yourself wanting.
Okay.
Repealing the LI is one. Two, political interference is there. What are you doing about it? Your own people are now there doing the galamsey. And you know the problem? It is because the NDC government politicized the galamsey issue when we should have said it or manage it as a nationalist issue.
Okay.
We decided to politicize it.
But just like you also did in 2015, that you took to come to power in 2016.
Oh, my brother.
Oh, you did. Enoch, you did. You did. Enoch. You did.
Fair enough.
Okay.
So now coming there. When we say we are going to do this, then we see the NDC. President John Dramani Mahama in 2020 on a campaign show told Ghanaians that those that you have been arrested by Galamsey, when I come, I will give you amnesty. You go home. Now, just recently, those that they've arrested, do you know what my problem?
No.
The Chinese people who are fronting the Galamsey, when we arrest them, then we deport them to their countries. What are we telling the others? Continue. When we arrest you, go back to your country. We won't do you anything. Are we solving the issue? We are rather worsening the case. And you see, our water bodies are drying up. People are now moving in more. And we can see, and then you see whatever they are doing now, they do not have any clear policy for this galamsey. Whatever they are doing today, we did some.
Okay.
This river gas you brought, we did some. Okay. This banning, we did some. Ask yourself, did this solve the issue? No. Meaning there is a problem and you do not want to touch on the problem because you feel most of your people are in there. Instead of you to move straight to tackle the problem, you are just hitting around it. Tomorrow, we've arrested 7 people who were involved in galamsey. Tomorrow, we've done that. When you could have stop your people from doing that, repeal the LI, stop mining in the forest, mining around water bodies. That is the problem. Okay. And that is what you have to touch rather than just hitting around the bush. Okay. See, my brother, if we do not remove our political lens, this galamsey issue won't stop today, it won't stop tomorrow. Okay. Mercury is destroying our water bodies. And every day I say that Dr. Baumia had one of the best policies for galamsey, not their AI policies. Where is their AI today?
But Baumia was in office for 8 years. Why didn't he implement that policy?
For that, I think I always say that those of us who have held, he is a president of National Service Personnel Association in Lankwanta. He knows that he's the president. And when his vice even brings something and he's the president, he knows that it is his decision to take it or not. For that one, I do not want to go there. Okay. So if maybe we would have given him the nod, he would have brought his measures. Okay. Mercury is destroying our water bodies. Which measure are you putting in place to stop the use of mercury? What are you bringing in place of the mercury? Okay. Now you are saying no permit water. The champagnes and the rest are still there. Okay. Have you stopped that? Okay. That is not going to stop the galamsey issue. Okay. And so that will not stop it now. What will stop it is one, arrest your people in there. Okay. Stop mining in water bodies. Okay. Repeal the LI. Okay. That will stop people from mining in forest reserve. Okay. See, we should not put the future generation at risk. Let's remove our political lens and solve this as a national issue. These Chinese people you are deporting, arrest them. Okay. Arrest them. Okay. How can you leave your country and come and mine in someone's country? When we arrest you, we say we are deporting you. We are just beating around the bush. The real issue is there. And when the NDC government decides to hit on the real issue, we all come together and we'll fight. Until then, if they continue beating around the bush, we'll just sit down. Tomorrow you come and say A, tomorrow you come and say B, and the real issue is there. Galamsey is going on. And it has become aggressive now, more than what we saw under the MPP. Really? Yes. Wow. The water bodies are drying up, River and Cobra and the rest. And now it is clearly moving to Accra, just on the eastern region stretch. We are seeing galamsey just here. And I ask myself, do these people use that road? Do they see them? What are they doing? Okay. It is very sad. And Ama Kofi Boa, who was able to lambast the president in his last sooner, now he was crying on TV. He should show us his powers now. Honorable Samjo, the president has been given the power. They should end it in 1 week. Whatever they can do to end the galamsey, they should do it because we're giving them the nod. Okay. And we should tell them they are losing the goodwill of the ordinary Ghanaian people. Okay. And they should tread cautiously.
Okay. Thank you there, Enoch. Ima?
Omari.
Anything to say or we should move on?
You see, when I meet my brothers in the NPP, it's just one thing I ask them. You see, I even want to cry. What I ask them is, and so for the past 8 years in government, you knew all these things and you didn't want to implement them.
Even though your question is valid, but that is why we voted them out.
Very well. And so, you see, he talked about His Excellency John Dramani Mahama saying that he's going to give amnesty to illegal miners. The explanation in there is just very simple. Okay? The explanation, I'm crying on behalf of every Ghanaian. You see, our river bodies are being destroyed. We are not getting clean water to drink. Okay. The explanation to His Excellency John Dramani Mahama saying that he's going to give amnesty to illegal miners is just very simple. And he explained it, but refused to give that accolade to the president. You see, under the NPP regime, we arrest illegal miners from Chinese and beyond. And then we deport them back into their country. Then our people are rather being sent to the prison. To face the law. So why then should it be? Then the president then said, if my own people are being arrested and then being kept in prison, and then other people are being arrested and deported back to the country, then I don't see any logic in that. And so then, if it calls for amnesty, why not? And so that's the explanation to that. Would you believe just 4 days ago, the Honorable Anabisiu, CEO for Minerals Investment Fund, that woman is really doing a fantastic work. Okay. He's the National Women's Organizer for the NDC. Okay. He, together with the Tiwa West DC, arrested some illegal miners. in Etiwa West, a constituency for the NPP, and then also saw that there is a filling station in a forest. Omari, a filling station in a forest, and it's crazy. But I mean, we are sure Ghanaians on behalf of the NDC government. So far as His Excellency John Dramani Mahama still remains president, the combating of illegal mining is a cause that we are not going to forget, or we are not going to lay down our tools. We are going to work so hard, and then going to make sure that we restore back our green waters. Our reserves are going to be in their right places, and then every pit that has been, every land that has been destroyed, would reclaim the land,
and
then make sure. Very well, we will. It's in the process. You know, parliament proceedings. I mean, I am not a parliamentarian, but the little I know is that everything or every bill, everything that needs to be discussed about follows due processes. And so we are waiting on the MPs. Just tell my brother that he should make sure he speaks to the minority caucus.
Right now, you know, one disadvantage you people have. Is coming from your own advantage. Is the fact that you are holding 2/3 of parliament. So there are some things that you shouldn't even take a day or two.
Very well. One thing is what the NDC government is not wanting to do or wanting to be tagged as a party that was in government, having 2/3 of parliament, and then did government business without the minority. You know, in as much as we have different political colors, we are one. When we go into that chamber, we serve the interest of every Ghanaian. And so I would just urge you or urge my brother to make sure he writes an article to the minority leader, that they should forget boycotting parliamentary proceedings to go and support a regional chairman that has been involved or alleged to have been involved in an illegal mining. Ghanaians didn't vote for the NPP to come and protest against the arrest of a regional chairman. Ghanaians voted for the NPP parliamentarians to come and do government business in parliament. And so that is what they are supposed to do. It's quite frustrating that we find honorable members seated on the floor, and then that is where they are doing their government business, whilst parliament is in proceedings. And so this government would really help in combating the illegal mining, and then we'll restore our water bodies, we'll reclaim our land, and then Ghana is going to be proud again when it comes to our natural resources and then our water bodies. Very well.
You know, the Ghana registered nurses and midwives are on strike.
Very well.
Yesterday, something happened at one of our biggest hospitals that people were sent home. Patients were sent home because the doctors were saying that there are no nurses to assist in, medication.
Very well.
And you know, we know how delicate health issues are. So if these people have concerns about their service conditions, why is government not paying attention and resolving this concern for it to escalate to this level that now patients are not even getting medication? So they need to be sent home. Doctors are complaining because there are no nurses to assist them in their service.
Omari.
Yes, sir.
Health issues. They are really at heart. You know, I always say that once in my life, I would really advocate for health issues. The Honorable Minister for Health, the Honorable Minta Kando, upon assuming office as the health minister, is really doing a fantastic work. We've been touring the whole Ghana health facilities without giving prior notice to go and see the conditions there. You know, this strike that is ongoing, before I even talk about it, I would want to use your platform to plead with the leaders of the Ghana Registered and Nurses and Midwiferys Association that they should please lay off their strike and then come back to the health facilities. Because health issues are really a key thing in developing a nation. Because when we are lacking health, I mean, it means we are not growing a nation. So please, I'm begging them that they should please come to a negotiation table and then lay off their striking tools so that we can take care of the ill and those who are not well. You see, yesterday I saw a video of a young boy who has been burnt and then was sent to a Ridge hospital, and nurses weren't there to even take care of the boy. And it's really devastating. You see, this 2024, they had a collective agreement with the then government. And then the agreement had a lot of conditions. Some 13 months salaries that are to be paid, some arrears that the NPP has left for us to come and pay.
Okay.
They also asking for some conditions, their service conditions, such that simple explanations, such that if you are a nurse or they are nurses, in as much as they have the health insurance taking care of some of their bills, they also believe that government should absorb their bills when they go for treatment.
Okay.
And then Omari, who becomes a nurse? Through whose part or whose hands do we get nurses? Teachers. Okay, Omari, if we are going to sit down as Ghanaians and I think that everything should be done for us, Omari, we are not improving our country.
Okay.
Because if nurses are saying that when we go for medical treatment, aside health insurance, take care, absorb every bill that we incur, then what would teachers also say? What would the diplomats also say? What would other people also say? Other professions also say?
Okay.
So I mean, it's very devastating.
Okay.
But I would want the leaders of this association to know that the agreement they had was with the previous government. This is a new government.
Okay.
A new government that has just stayed 6 months in power. And then is trying to gather resources, do a lot, develop the nation, and reset it as to how we want. And so we beg them, they should please calm down. We are there to meet their demands. We are there to make sure that we reach a census and that their conditions of service are always okay for them. And so they should please return back to the hospitals. Take good care of our ill people, and then make sure that they would always avail themselves. Whilst the minister, together with other stakeholders, are also putting in place other measures to take care of the negotiations and then the needs that they've brought forth. But it's just that we are just 6 months in power, and then we are now doing a lot. And so they should please calm down, because health conditions shouldn't be it should have nothing to do with politics. Okay. He is my NPP brother. When he's fit, I'm very okay. When I'm okay, I'm sure he's okay too as well. And so the nurses and the midwifery should really tame down. We beg them. They should calm down and then tame down for the government whilst we meet their demand. And then I promise them, on behalf of every NDC, on behalf of every Ghanaian, including my NPP people, that we are going to make sure that we meet their demands as to expectations. We are going to make sure that every nurse and then every health professional, I mean every profession, everybody who is in the health sector is being catered for, and then being okay in the condition, with the condition he or she meets. Okay, so they should please calm down for us.
All right. Thank you, Emmanuel. Enoch. You see, the NDC has something that you people started the negotiation.
Sure.
A year and a half now.
Very well.
Which you weren't able to meet it, and so if they have now come to power to make sure, because already even the Nurses Association have acknowledged that there were some legal barriers in the negotiation with your party.
Sure.
So now they are resolving it. Actually, some parts of the Health Association, the nursing, have withdrawn. They said they don't want to because it's illegal. They're already on the tables to negotiate. So why should some of them and all that? But in all and all, we still need to make sure these people are their concerns are being addressed. But yes, what do you say? What do you have to say about this?
I don't know if my brother answered your question based on some maybe another health minister in Tunisia also, because he's not speaking based on what is expected of his health minister. You see, when you're in opposition, I always say we talk, but when we get to action, let me read something before I continue. It is disappointing for a health minister, Mr. Kweku Agyemang-Manu, to have sat aloof, watch lab scientists in the country go on strike. He could have intervened when the agitation started just from Komfo Teaching Hospital in Kumasi. I read again. It is disappointing for the health minister, Honorable Kweku Agyemang-Manu, to have sat aloof, watch lab scientists in the country go on strike. He could have intervened when the agitation started just from Komfo Teaching Hospital. This is from the ranking member of Parliament, Health Committee, Mr. Minta Akando, in opposition. Now, let me reframe it. It is disappointing for the health minister, Honorable Minta Akando, to have sat aloof, watch nurses and midwives go on strike when he could have intervened when they came to him in January. Now, let me continue. Please don't interject. You see the people we have in this country. Yes. These people had a negotiation with the MPP government in May 2024. And per their conditions of service, they do it every 2 years. So in 2024 and then 2026. Now, when the NDC, you see, when you're a government, you take on assets and liabilities. Assets in the upper, liabilities they would be on. Now, these people met you in January. You told them something that, oh, we'll read the budget, relax. We've seen your conditions of service. We'll try and factor it in. You have the discussion with them. Now we've read budget, we didn't hear anything of that sort in it. They move to you again. You tell them to relax. You see it to them. Time is also going. And they are saying they've given you that honeymoon period. Minister, you are not saying anything.
Because even as next year, there should be another service
negotiation again. They have to sit again.
If they have a backlog, then how are they going to do
the
other one?
Do you know the problem I have with them?
No.
If probably in January they had told them the truth, we wouldn't have gotten to where we are. You see, I always say these health sector workers are very essential. One of the essential people in this country.
One of the most essential.
In COVID time, we saw the job they did. Even when we were all in the house.
When their commission went to one of your top officials.
These people were made to go and work.
Yeah, no, you didn't acknowledge that one.
Even during COVID time. So it should tell us that these people have really done a yeoman's work and we have to see to their needs. Now, you promised them something in January. Budget has been read. They've not seen anything. Now, these people come back to you. You are still not giving them any answer. And you are now telling them to come and sit for a renegotiation. It means you've not been truthful with them. You've not been honest with them. There's lack of trust. And I always say when there's lack of trust, there is no mediation. When there's lack of trust, you can't call them again for any mediation. You are not calling them for renegotiation. When you have told them the truth in January, that, oh, my brothers, my sisters, we won't be able to meet your needs. Let's sit down and renegotiate from the start. Once you've promised them, they're expecting you to deliver. That is what my brother is failing to admit. You promised them that you see to that for them. Now you are calling, and you know my problem. We shouldn't even add legal battles when it comes to health issues. You're now injunction here. You've put it's illegal. Your strike when lives are on standby. Yesterday, they had to sack people because there are no nurses. And Honorable Minta Kando and the NDC government, let's not forget that life is just one. When a life is lost, it's on your head. If we do not sit and acknowledge that these people, we have failed, we are at fault, we promised them something, we've not been able to deliver, and want to play the legal battles, we will find ourselves wanting.
Okay.
My problem is we shouldn't even play politics with health issues.
Okay.
At this juncture, call these people, sit with them, whatever it is. They are human beings. Speak with them. We should stop this hide and seek politics game. You told the honorable minister during his time that he sat aloof. He could have solved it before the issue escalated. What is happening now? You are in government. You are in the realms of affairs. People have entrusted you with power. The health issues of this country has been given to you, and you are now running away from it. Please, even tomorrow, we should hear good news because this is a serious issue and we shouldn't downplay it. As I was telling you, the NDC is gradually losing the goodwill of the ordinary Ghanaian people because if we cannot be truthful with the ordinary Ghanaians, that is the problem we had. We were telling President Akufo-Addo, take off this, take off Kanoforiata, do this, and he was not listening. The ordinary Ghanaians were telling him. And this is the same mistake the NDC is treading on. And you see their communicators defending. Now, take off nurses allowance. Yesterday I saw one, Anam Perry. Take off nursing training allowance. It's not important. You are angry because you feel the people are asking for what is for them. We shouldn't act so. We should put these people at some top-notch distance. Yes, we should. This is just, and you see the problem is what they are asking. They are saying it's not much. They are not even asking for S. Gracia for Article 71 holders. Just a little thing they are asking for, and this can be resolved with mediation and arbitration rather than fighting legal battles. You've put injunction on your strike. It's illegal. Whatever you are doing, it won't end us anywhere. When lives are lost, we can't bring them back.
Okay.
So please, and nurses and midwives, we will plead with them. With all this, there's lives that are going to be lost. They should come down and then go on the table with the government again.
Sure.
If it's renegotiation, they should try as much as possible. For now, they won't tell you the truth. The truth is their budget. Yes, and they can't factor it. You see, that is the problem. Ekufado was telling you the truth that we are in crisis. And Ghanaians didn't like that one. They want the one who tell them that yes, everything is okay.
Ekufado really said that.
Oh,
Ekufado said we were in crisis.
We are talking about a party. A presidency who, when we cried that things are hard,
he said a new leader is coming.
Things are not hard.
Oh no, I'm coming.
The same president said a new leader is coming.
More than 5 times on their on platform. In Yemen, things are really hard. We admit that. Tell me you've not heard it before.
Okay.
Omar, tell me, my brother, tell me you've not heard it before.
I've never heard.
Okay, that's fair enough. But if you're not truthful with Ghanaians, these are the things that will expose you. And heard UTAG and the rest also threatening strike. Yes, it is coming. It will expose you gradually. You think it is all about CD. CD that is not even affecting our pocket. We are not seeing it in our pocket. It will expose you. All this will come up. And if you do not set up and meet those issues, it will escalate and it will make your government unpopular.
Okay.
It will give the MP +1.
You
will not see to it and analyze those issues. But it is bad. It is bad. It is not one of the best. The Honorable Minister, Mita Akando, should see to it that it is resolved soon as possible. I know President John Dramani Mahama. He is a good man. He will do that.
Thank you very much, Omari. And so you see, my brother has said it that President John Dramani Mahama is a good man. So you see, one truth is he refused to say that the former president said that Yetisikaso is a comedian. And today you are saying that he said we were in crisis. Omari, I know you never heard that. I mean, for facts, on fact. The president then said Yetisikaso. And even said it in French. I don't understand French, but something like that.
This one, my brother is lying. What he's saying, he said it when he hasn't even become president.
Yeah, sure.
What you are saying, he
can't
pay the
day. But he said it and he became president, and then he never made any changes. And so, I mean, Omari, like you said, it has been a year and a half. Negotiation with nurses.
That shouldn't be an excuse.
Very well. This government is trying its possible best.
No. With what the minister is doing, he's not trying his possible best.
He's doing this. One thing he should know is that the government is not the one injuncting the strike and all of that. It's a labor union. It has nothing to do with government. Okay.
So government should do something about it.
Very well. You could see a president who really cares about health, such that he is donating his 6-month salary to Mahama Cares, taking care of the ill. You could see a minister who is also donating his 2-month salary. The sector minister donating his 2-month or 3-month salary to the Mahama Cares. Other ministers are doing that. That is a government which takes health issues at heart. And so Ghanaians should become, the nurses and the midwifery association should come down, meet with the minister, every stakeholder involved. Let's just go on a negotiation table.
They say what they want is implement. Implement now.
Implement. We would implement. We'll do that. Gradually, we'll do that for them.
Okay. Our time is almost up, but with the last topic, we'll just use 2 minutes to address it. There have been calls for citizens to be included in the constitutional reform. Since the constitution is about us, if anything should be included, amended, or taken off, we should have a preview to that. We should have a contribution to that. And so citizens, people are saying, no, this entails legal aspects of life. So these are not things that we should just let anybody of that sort. But people are also saying at the back of this legal aspect you are talking about, it still comes back to us, to regulate us. So we still have to, have our say in it. And it has become a sort of a banter. What do you have to say? 2 minutes. Then we are done.
I think I also share the same opinion. I guess my brother also shared the same opinion that we are the citizens. We all are citizens. No matter who you are, no matter the position you hold. And the constitutional reforms, the outcome of it would affect every single Ghanaian, not just the lawyers, not just the politicians, not just the diplomats, the intelligent ones or what have you. Every single person. My grandmother, who is about 93 years old in Asimfosu, one village there, will be affected in the constitutional reforms. And so I feel that there should be a general overview. There should be opened door conversations for Ghanaians or for other citizens to also share their views or to share their ideas as to certain parts of the constitution, because you and I would bear witness that our constitution really, really do need reforms. And so Ghanaians or citizens should have the right or should be given the privilege to also add their voices as to the reforms of the constitution, and that would take us one way or the other a better way around. Okay, and so I feel the door should be open. I've seen CSOs and other people advocating for that. Very well, I share the same opinion that Ghanaians should be given the nod to also share their ideas and to make the difference that we all want our constitution to be. And so if you ask me about that, I share the same opinion. Very well.
Okay. So I think our constitution has been over 3 decades that served the purpose. But we are evolving economy, democracy and everything. So it is important. It shouldn't just only be about lawyers and MPs, but at least it should go down to the ordinary Ghanaian. Should also have a say in it. At least CSOs, feed-based organization, our market women, artisans, let's move to them. They should be involved. It is a constitution that is coming to govern us all. The constitution is supposed to shape the people. So if it is for the people, then let's involve the people in it. I think it's a good call that the government should hit to that call and then ensure that we involve every aspect of the person's life in this constitution. And also to the Constitutional Review Committee. Should also, I trust they will do a good work. Then, yes, I think that will be all.
Okay. On that note, this is where we will be ending the conversation this morning. Before we go, your last word. Enoch. What about how Mama went Jabra in the champion?
Oh, good morning to Dr. Honorable Brian Echampong. Yes, the current member of parliament. That's my man. I really like him very well. The dream is on. And good morning to Dr. Brian Echampong. For now, we are still in the pipeline. He's actually doing a research, giving a 1-month period, and then we'll take feedback from the research. But we are hoping that it goes on well, because the Ghanaian people need such people to govern us. So Dr. Brian Echampong is one. I'd like to greet Mr. Nathan Jesima for the PA to Honorable Brian Echampong. The Suhum dream is on. Yes, and to my brother, Lawyer Chumesi. Lawyer Chumesi is also part of the team. He's really doing a fantastic work. And Dr. Kisi, the former member of parliament for Nyasu, also doing a fantastic work on the team. Yes, Adomako Kisi is part of the team, doing a fantastic work. And I'll greet my family as well, greet a few friends. Yes, my friends are a lot. I really like you, I really love you. God bless you all. And to Ghana Talks Radio, my brother Omari, yes, doing a fantastic work. Over the weekend, receiving some calls. Oh, you are doing well. Hey, I saw you on this platform. This one posted you. Yes, all thanks to Ghana Talks Radio. Yes, doing a fantastic work. God really bless you, Charlie, for shaping us and inviting the youth to also come and share our views on this platform. I think it's really good. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Ima?
Omari.
Yes, sir.
I also have a lot of people to greet. You know, so far as we have the privilege to be on radio and TV all the time, they expect to also hear from us. But then just to chip in, I would want to ask if the Dr. Brian Echampong we are talking about is the same MP who wanted to buy hotels, Snit hotels and other. I don't know if it's him. I don't know if it's him, but I'm just asking. NDC. That's just by the way. I would want to say a very good morning to His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, and urge him that Ghanaians are really looking up to him, and that we really want him to do a lot for us. The path he's treading on, he should continue making sure that Ghana will be better again. I would want to greet the Honorable Member of Parliament for Honorable Joe Kwesen, the Member of Parliament for Ilo Kobo, Honorable Albert Tetenyakote, and then the Member of Parliament for Krowo, Dr. Agnes Namumolati. And then I want to greet like you said, I'm the NASPA president for Lamkwantanan Madina. And so a very good morning to all NSPs in Lamkwantanan Madina, and to my director, Mr. Nasiru. And then to my beloved mommy, Auntie Emilia, I greet you, and I greet every single Ghanaian who is watching me. I love everybody. Just that the NPP will stay opposition for a very long time.
Let me greet my current regional NASPA president.
Who is my brother too as well.
Yes, His Excellency Mesha Kapia Boateng.
Bomboye.
Yes, Bomboye, and also my guy Christian Adueme is the current financial secretary for Accra Metro NASPA. They are doing a fantastic work. I really like those guys, solid guys.
And he likes me too.
Oh yes, that is one of my guys. Oh, Charlie Madie. Solid guy.
And I also urge that all national service personnel should become their recent month allowances in the pipeline. It will reflect their account in the coming days to a weekend, so they should become. Yes, NDC government is there for us.
My brother is only in the wrong party. A solid.
So thank you, the gentlemen, for gracing the show this morning with us for such an intellectual and educative and interesting conversation. We will be looking forward to you as usual, consistently. But please, our time, the time, the minute very, very soon. Then also thanks to my producer and the entire production team for holding us down throughout the show. Up next is DJ Rock with some soothing music. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Ghana Talks Radio, #1.